There it is.
Okay. And JPI warning, just in case, I think. Yeah. They should be able to hear us.
Right.
We'll figure it out.
Should be able to. All right.
True.
Yeah.
What's up? He goes, yay. You know what you just reminded me of? You remember that old school ass ringtone that I got mail. Yay.
Nope.
All right. I'm gonna have to send it to you guys. The wrong age group.
Nope.
Anyway. So
don't do it.
Oh, what's up, everyone? We got an interesting episode today. We're not gonna get too deep into it right now. Let's give a quick little much love and thank you. I'm just gonna throw it out there, Ryan. I appreciate you taking some time for being here with us. You'll get your moment to tell everybody who you are. But just to give you guys a little preview, some things that we are going to talk about. We're going to talk about Vault announcing free to play. We're going to go into this, correct me if I'm wrong, pocket full of quarters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then also we're going to go through some questions that the community actually asked through a Twitter post. So we're going to, just talk as a group, as homies, try to figure it all out. But let's do our introductions. Ryan, if you could take it off, then Goose, then Bearded, and then myself. Introduce yourself.
Well, everybody, as you know, or as you might know, I'm the community manager of Strange Matter Studios, Ryan Red, here to talk with the homies about any questions you guys might have. I know that some of you have been tweeting to Windu's, or reacting to Windu's tweet about some questions. So I'm interested to see what you guys had to say.
Shout out to Baylix for retweeting that.
Everybody, I'm the Man Goose. You are awesome. And let's get this show on the road because I've got a fun dip party to get to. Over to Bearded.
With the bro. Oh, the world may never know. All right.
The world should know.
What's going on, everybody? I'm your Michigan Wonder, the Bearded Wolverine.
Oh.
I'm excited to get this show on the road as well because Man Goose is on his way to my place. So I'm excited for that fun dip party. Let's go.
Jesus, bro, just make sure there's no confetti. Anyway. Anyway, welcome, guys. I am WinduTheMace, also known as Windu's. Jesus Christ, I am tired today. Yeah, I'm two of them. Technically, I do have two accounts. Anyhow,
One's
predominantly
one.
Yeah, one is the fake one. True, with the accent, you totally nailed that shit. But I make pretty much third-person MOBA-related content along with strategy and a little bit of gaming here and there. But the purpose of these episodes are we talk about Vault specifically in these episodes. Sometimes, we cross-pollinate a little bit. We bring up other MOBAs and etc. sometimes in comparison. So do be mindful as we go through it. If we ever bring up another MOBA in comparison, it's all healthy. We're trying to be as good sport about it as everything because we believe in competition thrives excellence. So one of the first things that I want to get right into it because we got a pretty jam-packed couple things to go through. One of the first things that I want to go into is a direct question from us specifically. Let me ask you, Ryan, was there a reason why of the partial name change instead of a full name change? I've heard a lot of people asking about that. Do you know?
You're muted or something.
Sorry about that. Yeah, we did want to kind of hold to our original identity still. People know us as Fault. It still kind of means something to us. You can, whether it's nostalgia or whatever you want to call it, really. And also there are some restrictions to changing your name when you've already been out for quite a while. It's quite a process, but yeah, we actually enjoy Fault Elder Orb, and we're kind of happy we settled on it. But yeah, and
So could you? Could you not do Fault Knights of the Elder Orb and kind of combine both of them? And you still keep Fault, the nostalgia part of it, and you'd also get the full name from the movie as well?
Yeah, we could have, but it's kind of a mouthful for one.
Yeah, it is kind of long.
And also Elder Orb kind of still relates to the game. Party.
Yeah, after actually watching the movie, I watched the movie today, and I can completely understand why you guys wouldn't change it to Knights of the Elder Orb, because they're playing like it's Fault gameplay in the background, but the game they're playing is a Fault. Like it doesn't obey the same rules as Fault. So
right,
I kind of see that you want that delineation.
It's also to follow the writer's vision of what the game they had
Right, exactly.
was when they made it. So it's obviously a mix of what they had envisioned and our actual game. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm glad everyone likes the animations too. People are getting pretty hyped about them.
Yeah, the holy crap.
Why can't I have an intro like that in my game? I'm gonna just throw it out there. Like that whole like going from the core into the jungle shit, like the first couple seconds, I'm like, bro, I want my game to boot up like that.
Oh no,
like,
it has a pretty good intro. Like the whole coming down the hallway and shit. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. It's definitely.
Oh, you're talking about like loading into the game?
Yeah, loading into a match.
Oh yeah,
and,
that's cool.
Just to clarify, if people don't know, the group First Breath Studios, which was made basically to create stuff for Fault, they actually wound up making all of those for the movie. They're the ones who did it.
They made the cinematics, really.
Yes.
Those cinematics were on point. By far, the best part of that entire movie were those cinematic cutscenes of the game. That was sweet.
They were good highlights.
This is
for sure
the same group of people that were doing the cinematics for like our hero release trailers, like Gadget's hero release trailer.
Decker and Grimm, Gadget, the little scene of Grux running through the jungle and roaring at you.
Okay,
all that stuff was from them.
Nice.
Yeah, I love working with those guys on every hero thing. Obviously, like we have great, massive visions for every hero trailer, and unfortunately, due to time crunches and things that happen, we kind of have to whittle them down. But it's been an amazing experience, and they did an amazing job at kind of like turning crunch times into still an amazing product. Yeah, they do an amazing.
Is that pun intended with crunch? With his
Jesus Christ,
I get that a lot. Apparently, I've been saying crunch a lot, and I didn't even notice. But I should use that for sure.
You should rename his ultimate to Crunch Time.
Crunch Time. Hell yeah.
That would be a good one.
When are we paying for the licenses for a Crunch Bar skin? Change my mind.
Hell yeah.
That would be cool.
I love Crunch Bars too.
Right?
But I will say, for those of you that haven't watched the movie, we'll try not to spoil too much, right? But
I haven't watched the movie, so don't spoil too much.
No, you're okay. I was already amazed that in the first 20 seconds, I saw more Fault in this movie than I thought I was going to see the entire movie.
Yes, 100%. I agree.
Like, bro, like as is, like I'm talking about a little animation, right? You'll see it eventually, Bearded. But as is, like the moment I saw just like kind of go into a camera, kind of slid into the jungle, I thought I was like, okay, that's about to be it. Here comes the movie. The fact that I spent a good probably 15, 20 seconds looking at only Fault gameplay animations and shit like that, I literally sat there and I was like, I already don't low-key care about this movie. I'm interested in the animations and what's going on and everything. And I was like, low-key, this makes Fault look good, legit.
Yeah, it does.
And I was like, yo, and then honestly, going further in, and this is gonna piss Bearded off because I'm gonna say no details. Going further in, the next moment that we see gameplay, look at him. The next moment that we see gameplay on the screen, I was actually very impressed of how much implementation there was going on. Like the little call out scene, if you get where I'm coming from, the first one that we see. Like, I was very, very surprised. I was also surprised by what I saw Muriel's ability do. But I was very, very surprised in the movie. Like, 100%. Of course I caught that. I'm a duo main. I was like, all right, somebody took creative liberties, but this shit still looks cool as fuck. I dig it.
Yeah. I mean, like we were talking about before we even started, like the game that they're playing in the movie, it's not Fault. Like it obeys different rules than Fault.
Right.
But all of that footage is from Fault. And I guarantee people are going to look Fault up. They're going to look up what game is in this movie. Yes. I've seen reviews on Amazon. Not all of them are great. Some of them, they do have some 5-star reviews though, and it's people that obviously didn't know anything about Paragon or Fault. And I guarantee some of those people are going to start looking the game up because it's obviously a real game. Like I did not expect Fault to be so heavily featured in this movie. I thought it was going to be a couple of scenes, maybe looking at a screen in the background. I don't think I'm spoiling anything, but I'm going to say right now, there's a lot of fucking Fault gameplay in this movie. Hey. And I saw a certain Ryan Red name tag above somebody in the game. I saw Sylphin in there. I'm pretty sure I saw Armadillo.
Team Kong is me, Sylphin, Fresher, Jester, and I think Jamson.
Is that why his profile picture has been the Kong logo for the longest? Get me out. Who knows?
No. The Kong thing, that's all fresher. He's been Kong since fucking.
Oh, okay. I got you. You just adapted it. Okay.
Yeah, but I saw a team named Kong, and I'm like, okay, that has to be the dev team. That has to be the dev team. And I think I even showed Jester. I'm like, all right, which gamer do you want to be? And he's like, I'll pick the Mohawk guy, or something like that.
Yeah. So without going too deep into it, I'm just gonna give y'all props because again, like Goose mentioned, there was much more than anybody could imagine how much fault got shown in this movie. And it's to the point that it literally almost felt like there were certain times, like specifically, like I would go like a good 20 minutes and be like, this Loki feels like a movie focused on fault.
Yeah.
Like the game keeps getting brought up. You get me? It's like, you don't play this game? Hello? Even though it was the other name that they used for the movie, right? The Knights of the Elder Orb. But it just kept on bringing attention back to the game. At the end of the day, Fault is the game. I was like, wow, this is actually super awesome. Dig it.
All right. So I wanna bring up, like, I haven't seen the movie, but you guys know me. I float around all these gen chats, right? So, and I say all these gen chats because I'm talking about other, MOBAs here. And some of the haters or fanboys of the other ones have been talking about how the movie isn't in the movie, or the game isn't in the movie that often, and how just because it doesn't even have the name Fault in it, doesn't show the name Fault in it, it is a bad deal for SMS. Like, these are comments that I've literally gotten just today from this situation.
How is free publicity ever a bad deal?
Yeah,
that's what I said. That's what I replied to that.
We didn't invest anything into this. It's not like we're like, hey, here's a bunch of money. Can we be in your movie? That's not at all how this went. This was a fully collaborative thing between us, BuzzFeed, and Lionsgate, and we had a lot of fun working with them and making it. And it's more than just the movie itself. It's also about bringing certain communities and age groups that haven't really experienced or understand esports into that scene. There's more than just the movie that's being put into that sort of vision. So it's not just about that, but it's also about sort of the combination of gaming and other things. Because if you look at the actual numbers for esports, I think in 2018 it hit $1 billion industry, and since then it has gone up a ridiculous amount every year. And I think we're already near 2 billion. We might have passed it for the esports industry itself. Other people are noticing that. Facebook went around and started buying out a bunch of VR companies and other things like that for their metaverse. Other companies are grabbing VFX people from video game studios for their own stuff. There's a lot of exciting things coming up in the future with video games merging with things we wouldn't have thought they did. Riot's TV show was a perfect example of that. The League of Legends show. It's
Arcane.
Yeah, Arcane. Yeah. That was a huge step towards that. And I think that it's becoming more and more of a reality. And us, a small indie game was just in a Lionsgate movie. That's pretty big towards that whole.
See, but they don't say that. The Gen Chatters don't say that. They say it's a BuzzFeed movie. They don't point out the fact that it's Lionsgate. They point out it's BuzzFeed because BuzzFeed's got such the negative thing. Yeah. And the thing is, I don't even know what it's negative about because I don't pay attention to that stuff. So you tell me it's a BuzzFeed movie.
The majority of people don't care who BuzzFeed is, bro. They just
it's a BuzzFeed. What is BuzzFeed? I don't. The only thing I know BuzzFeed is it's quizzes on Facebook. If you scroll through Facebook, hey, take this quiz, take this quiz. That's all I know BuzzFeed is.
I don't know. I have any real comments about them really, other than the people I worked with were great people and very understanding and awesome individuals. So
right. But that was my point though. Is what Windu said is the majority of people don't even care what BuzzFeed, or don't even know what BuzzFeed, the issues that BuzzFeed has. Nobody cares, because nobody knows what about it. I don't know anything about it, and I'm one that I don't listen to the news, so that's probably why I don't know about it. But I'm also not that big of a gamer nerd in the sense where I'm just going to sit there and pay attention to all these issues that's going on. If it doesn't affect me and my wife and kids, I got nothing to do with it. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm totally down to do this real quick if you're cool with it, Ryan, and I'd love to hear the input from Bearded and Goose. I'm gonna ask a couple questions, just quick short answers as far as just a response to it in general, and if we want to have a quick little discussion about it, we can, just to try and knock some of these out before our guest gets here. So one of the first ones is, are we going to put a lot of content into the game so that the players can play for something other than playing for just for fun.
Are you talking about for free-to-play's launch or in general?
Well, just moving forward into the game in general.
Yeah, I mean, as we spoke about on the dev stream, we're currently working on like an ARAM map. We're currently working on a training area / gym where people can like really have fun. We're working on some quality of life things as well. Not for this patch exactly these things I've mentioned, but and also just pure content itself, like skins, avatars, ward skins, all that kind of stuff we're working on. We have some spicy stuff that people have been wanting for a long time that has been, I guess you could say, missing, that has been worked on, and I'm seeing it. You might see it in this next patch. On Sunday, I might even be able to preview some of it for you guys before it comes out. But it's not something
you can show some of us now for the.
It's not something bigger.
People would love to see it.
If I had it prepared, that'd be great. But unfortunately, I have to wait. But yeah, this stuff is pretty big. It's pretty well. It's not like something crazy or massive, but it's something appealing to look at. That's for sure.
Right.
Also, skins in general, our team's been going pretty nuts. We still have a ton of concepts that were made up during the whole development in the past 2 years. We haven't shown all of them. We've shown some of them off to gauge reactions, like that big badass Richter in the full suit of armor. There's tons of concepts and stuff like that, and we're going to be working towards more and more skins, hero releases, obviously, events, seasonal events, Twitch events. We're going to keep doing the things we've been doing this whole time, but now that we're expecting growth and we're kind of getting more into the direct sort of interaction with everybody again, we're definitely going to have a lot more kind of fun stuff popping off left and right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now,
a lot of it was like testing, like Shadow Veil or Shadowfest and Winter Veil and all that. But now we know, and we have experienced running those kind of things.
You want to say, Bearded?
Yeah, quick something you know that I want to see added into the game, and I know other people's do, is more things added into the mastery system. Not just the mastery skins, but like banners or something that you can get. Like, you know, you get, all right, you got the mastery banner. You know, here's a red and black white, you know, banner for when you kill somebody. Bam, that'd be great. I think that's something that in game would be cool. Right. And just other things that you can get, avatars. You know, mastery avatars that you can get, you know, that can go with that. Just something you add into that. Like, here we go at level 8 of the diamond, you know, every level 8, you get this diamond avatar, you know, mastery avatar, something like that. I want to see stuff like that in the game.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of that sounds pretty cool. I'd like to see a lot more sort of, what's the word for it? Bragging material, I guess you could say. So you get to like show off
basically.
Yeah.
All right, so
one's gonna doubt that you're a master. Everyone sees it everywhere.
So here's what we're gonna do. We still got a couple of these questions. We're gonna get to them. We do have a special guest that's gonna be joining us from Pocket Full of Quarters, and we know we're gonna be able to have a chat here, ask a couple questions, you know, just kind of chillax, like kind of see things from their point of view and get a little bit more insight that a lot of the community members have been wondering. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring him into the room, and then after the fact, we'll get back to the other questions and stuff like that. All right.
Hey guys, how's it going?
All right, what's up, homie? How you doing?
What's going on? You know, doing well. How about yourselves?
Doing well. Great. Welcome, homie.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Of course, and actually, since you just got here, if you could, just for everybody, introduce yourself. Who are you? What is it that you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm with Pocket Full of Quarters. I am. My name is Alex Guerrero. I'm on our team for our game success manager. So basically, what I do is once we get our games that join on with us and get a part of this journey that we're going to be on, I see them all the way through from the start process of getting to meet them, all the way through as they're developed through our games, everything like that, our quarter system, all of those things, and then continue that relationship with them, and then continue to build after that. So Ryan and I have gotten to know each other pretty well here, and hopefully he enjoys me because we're going to be together for a long time. So yeah, nice to meet you guys.
Awesome. So you're like a liaison, so to speak, like the in between the companies.
The in between, the face. So they try to find the least annoying person possible because they get stuck with me after. So you know, nah, just kidding. We got a great team, but yeah, the in between.
Heard.
So I could never be a liaison, is what you're saying. Got
it. I would never say that to your face, Bearded. Anyway, but no, we really do appreciate you being here, fam. Now, so just because we don't want to, like take up too much of your time, we don't want you to have to be here for like 73 hours answering questions and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, no. So getting right into it, man, could you just explain to us what exactly is Pocket Full of Quarters? Like, how does it work?
Yeah, absolutely. So Pocket Full of Quarters, we're the first and only in-game currency that's fully inoperable across the metaverse and video games. So we have a historic SEC no action letter, and it's a patent that is the use for blockchain inside of video games. So recently, POQ, we signed a major deal with Unity, where we are their verified blockchain partner. We created blockchain engineerless solution, and it allows Web 2 games to seamlessly transition into Web 3. So a big idea that we have that a lot of our stuff is based off of is a tokenomics system. Basically, when you go to Chuck E. Cheese, you don't play. Every game has a different quarter. Every game is played with the same token. So that's kind of the heart behind what we've done at POQ.
Okay, interesting.
You said SEC. As you see, I'm a sports fan. SEC is a Southeastern Conference, so I doubt that's what you're talking about. So what is SEC?
So it's basically a government-based way. A short way of saying it without going into a long way is that we can't be sued. Our token, it's non-speculative. It holds one value. It can't be taken out. It's not a cryptocurrency or anything like that.
So it's not like an NFT.
A cryptocurrency.
It is not a cryptocurrency.
From what I understood from reading into this, as the SEC is the Security Exchanges Commission. It's So it's not like an NFT. Like an NFT could be traded and valued differently throughout. So if you buy an NFT for, say, $500, it might appreciate in value and get up to $1,000, or it might depreciate. You might have a $5 picture on your hands or what have you with an NFT. But these aren't NFTs. They're direct exchange. They're the same value and they hold that value.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, they can't be taken out. They don't gain or lose value in any sort of way. It's just another form of in-game currency. In a short way of saying it, it would be in the same sense. Fault makes a game and they make the second game, and your tokens will carry over into the next game. You can't take those things out or anything like that.
Right on. So we just heard Fault Elder Orb 2, right? Is that weird?
I can't with them. I will say that Chuck E. Cheese example actually makes a lot of sense when you actually put it that way. Multiple games just using the same exact coin. So that kind of hit home. No, I'm not that fucking young. Anyhow, so another question here. So will SMS, and this is kind of like a two-part as to both Ryan and Alex, will SMS have their own premium currencies to buy skins, or totally cut off, or will that be replaced with quarters? Like, is quarters meant to be alongside a premium currency, or is quarters the premium currency? How does that work?
Yeah, so players have the choice whether to connect their POQ account, Pocket Full of Quarters account, and use quarters in game. Both currencies, they function in the same exact way, except for the fact that quarters will allow you to have access over other titles, other games that use quarters as well. That's really the only difference. Quarters integration and tournaments, esport platforms that we have, those are other ways that you can use your quarters.
Okay.
Yeah, you're still going to see coins. If you're a Fault player and you're there, you're still going to see coins. But if you integrate, then that's essentially going to shift to quarters for you. It's going to basically be automatically converted, and you'll still be able to get them through the game, and you'll still be able to treat them like you normally would, coins and everything. Only these ones you're able to take out into the world and use them elsewhere.
Got you.
Right. So let's say we go. I go to Pocket Full of Quarters website and I add $20 worth of quarters, in my wallet. Is that what it's called? A wallet? I don't know. That's the normal term, whatever. We'll just say it right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
I add to my wallet and I put $10 in default. Can I take that money? Do I have to? Is that committed in default now? And I only have $10 left in my POQ wallet to go into another game, or can I take $5 out of that 10 and put that into another game?
So if I'm understanding, if you were to spend, $10 in quarters, those quarters can be used in Fault. They can be used in another game. We have another game called Take the Throne that we work with. You can take that to that game. Like we said, not saying there is, but there were another Fault. You could take it to that game, move it to the next game, different things like that, to where you're not tied down. The whole goal is to give the power back to players. Nobody likes when, you spend $20 in one game and $20 in another. You didn't spend $40. You spent two separate things with $20. We want it to where all players can use their money as a whole.
Okay.
Gotcha. So it'd be the equivalent of putting money on a debit card, and where I use that debit card is my choice at the end of the day.
Exactly. Yeah. You would hate if you had to get groceries and you had to get a gift card to Walmart anytime you wanted to get groceries.
Bro.
And then if you had to go to Best Buy, you had to get a separate gift card there. Nobody wants that. So yeah.
Right.
Which is crazy to think that that's how the gaming world has been running for so long.
It really kind of is, and it kind of sucks too, because a lot of times you have to spend, like, a skin will cost like $10, but you have to pay $20 for the premium currency, and then But with the pocket full of quarters, you could spend your $10 the way you want to. You wouldn't have to.
Yeah, those Steam points. Those Steam points you're accruing all the time when you're making purchases on Steam. Imagine if you could use those to buy like different games or like buy stuff in game on Steam. You know what I mean?
Bro, I could buy a car by now if I were allowed to use those. Now, interesting question, because we kind of dabbled on it a little bit, but since they are going to be their own individual separate currencies, are you going to be able to exchange one for the others? Like, if I have a premium currency in Vault, can I buy quarters with that premium currency, or vice versa? Can I use the quarters to buy premium currency in Vault?
So once you select one token, you're with that token. You can purchase quarters through Google Play, Apple Store, with US dollars or credit cards. So we are partnered with the Apple Play Store as well as Apple Store, or Apple Play Store and then Google Play Store as well. So that's how you would purchase it.
Got you. And as far as a question for Ryan, will we be able to buy a season pass with quarters, for example?
If you were integrated with quarters, your Vault account and quarters, you'd be able to buy anything in the store.
Okay.
As far as confirming a season pass, we're still waiting to see like when exactly that's going to be, because obviously season 1 would most likely go with 1.0, and we're not at 1.0 yet. So I don't want to confirm anything yet about a season pass coming up or lock us into anything.
No, I got you.
Yeah,
I would never do that to you, Ryan.
Season pass 0.5.
0.5.
0.5. This guy. But I mean, you answered it right there. The fact that you can basically use the quarters to buy anything in the game. So I want to buy a skin. I want to buy a ward. Awesome.
Yeah, it would basically be the same thing as coins. Only you'd be calling it a different thing and be able to take it out of the game and spend it elsewhere, like we were saying earlier.
So right now in the game, if we go load up a game right now, we got our marks, we got our matter, and we got our coins. So now we're gonna see, well, quarters. Eventually maybe it changes with free to play. But right now, if we did pocketful quarters, it was integrated right now, it'd be marks, matter, coins, quarters.
Good. As far as I'm sure, it would be marks, matter, and then quarters if you integrated. You would just see. You would
also
just see,
it literally just changes. If
you would see them as quarters. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it makes it like quick and easy and stuff like that, and then and then you can just take them wherever you want. The cool thing is, one of the things I really like about it is it makes it much sort of easier for everybody on both ends, like development and everything like that, doing it this way. So it's a nice, smooth sort of transition for everybody, and it'll be easy to understand for the player as well.
All right, and I just had a kid, and I know for a fact this will happen multiple times. What if my kid at one point decides I'm gonna go online and spend $500 worth of quarters? How does the refund process work? How does we got to reverse that somehow at some point, right? Like how does that work?
Yeah. So a way that they first off even get a quarters account, they have to set up an account, they connect with their Discord. It's very simple in that sense. But like most in-game currencies, the refund process is more so if there's fraud activity, anything along those lines where you can create a ticket. Obviously, special circumstances, we'll have that conversation. But it varies situation to situation. That's the best way I can answer that for you. Other than that, man, watch the kid.
No, I mean, that makes sense for sure. But yeah, no, my kid's definitely not going to be it. But trust me, I've seen it, and being a Twitch streamer for quite a while, I've seen multiple instances be like, "Hey, here's $100. Oh no, I meant to do 10. My mom's gonna kill me." Be like, well,
yeah.
Is there a like password integration? Just you put the $100 in, you have to do 10. Wait, there's a password. You got to confirm this, this purchase before we do that. So let's go back and make that a 10 instead of 100 and then put the password in? Is there something like that, a verification?
It's not as I would say at this point as protected in that sense, to where there's all the child protection in that sense. I would align it along the lines of whenever you do anything through Apple or anything like that, the same type of access that you have there. I think that there's the same fears or doubts in anywhere in that same shape or form. If a child has the same card, they can do it almost anywhere. So I wouldn't just single it out with quarters. So yeah.
That's a great point. Great point. Now, also, do you acquire quarters? How do you acquire quarters? Excuse me. And are they tracked solely via the website, or is it a digital wallet needed? Like, how do you keep track of your quarters?
Yeah. So quarters, they're purchased in the same way you would like any in-game currency, through credit card, Apple Pay, in-game, etc. We even do, whenever you're signed in through our site and you're paired with your Discord in there as well, we do queue bonuses to where you'll daily get quarters. So no matter what, you don't have to have money tied in to get quarters. You can be on the site once a day and you'll get quarters anywhere from, I've gotten like 80 quarters at one point, to where you can constantly get quarters. You're not worried about that. When you make an account there, you get an automatic 200 quarters, which is another thing to be added on. But in a whole, quarters are designed to be easy for players to use, so you don't need to worry about creating anything wild. POQ takes care of all that type of stuff. Every player that creates an account at POQ will automatically get assigned a custodial wallet, in the sense that they are in control of that wallet, nobody else is. So in a whole, it's just a ledger system. It's for adaptability, and it's for it to be fully inoperable.
Yeah, I'm the one that asked that question, but my concern was because I have done stuff with cryptocurrency before, and I had to go through this whole process of building a digital wallet and everything. But I did log in, create an account with Pocket Full of Quarters, and it's just like you said, it's just like buying currency, just buying any other premium currency in a game. It's just premium currency that works in every game now. So that assuaged a lot of my fears.
That's great to hear.
And now, how do developers hashing these quarters? Like, how does it affect the developer?
Yeah, so quarters, they're redeemable by developers who have KYC'd with POQ. So these payments are made via stable token, US dollars, and they're dependent upon the developer's choice. So a stable token, it may be much faster payments, made within a net of 72 hours. Cash is also paid via request through Gusto, through us, and that's direct deposit, and they can see that anywhere from 7 to 10 days.
So it's just straight up, they can just straight up get cash for these quarters. That's great to hear. That is great to hear.
Hey man, especially indie studio related, right?
Yeah,
go ahead, Ryan.
It's good. It's good for that, but the whole point of sort of the collaboration wasn't really about that. Wasn't really the goal for it. It's more about the promotional aspects for both of us to grow alongside each other, especially the fact that Pocket Full of Quarters has so much tournament and event heavy things going on their website, which I know a lot of our community will jump all over, because a lot of people have been waiting for actual tournaments to start up and events to start up, and now they all kind of have an outlet to get started before we kind of get started ourselves.
So I know that there's at least 2 or 3 groups that I know personally that are about to, like, the moment this gets activated, they're immediately going to be like, hey, how do I start this up? I need help. Like, I need to email somebody. I'm confused. Right.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about too. But.
Right. But so I'm curious, and I'm glad that we this question is in the little list that us partners here kind of put together. How is Pocket Full of Quarters going to integrate Vault Elder Orb, because that will be the new name, like in any sort of like front page, like any priorities, like do we get any benefits upon launch, for example, like to help kind of boost the game, anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So Fall, it will have full distribution of POQ's esports platform. They'll have front page access to where they'll be front and center for player recognition, to where they'll be full disposal of all of our streamers that we have. We have over 2 million active users on our site. We have also over 500 signed streamers that are contracted. So it's a legitimate thing where we're not just tossing them out there and it's like, hey, figure it out. Here's this site. They're on a legitimate site with legitimate competitors, legitimate people that are actually streaming and bringing their following there as well. So they get full distribution to all of those things that we have at our capacity.
Nice. So you guys heard that. Partners, step your shit up, because we got competition. We got plenty of competition now. So I know that this is a very questioned matter, right? And I even see a question about it in the chat in general. So getting right to it. So, and the question that specifically wrote here, right? So the existence of crypto tied to blockchain authentication has made a lot of players uneasy. What separates Pocket Full of Quarters from other currencies that have massive environmental effects?
Yeah, and I understand there's a lot of fear of those types of things. One of the biggest things that we can share is that we're not cryptocurrency, anything like that. We can't stress that enough. But the first major difference in POQ is that we utilize a custodial wallet, which again, that means that you're in control of that wallet. Players never have to experience the breakage of gameplay, whether it be associated with all of their blockchain games or anything like that. Quarters simply work exactly like any other in-game currency. So that's a huge thing that I want to stress. It's the same thing. The second major difference is that Quarters is non-speculative. It does not change its currency in any way, shape, or form. You're not cashing in 100 quarters one day and then you wake up in the morning and now it's worth 10 quarters. It's not that at all. There's no value outside of the economy of the game for intended use or anything like that at all. It's all other blockchain tokens and games that to date, they've been speculative in play, whether it be the style of the token, which currency you use, anything like that. None of that stuff changes with us. So it's the same as it is today, tomorrow, and every day after that.
I got you. So
I think this question was answered a lot by knowing that the developer can cash in for US dollars, because I think that was a big thing, was people were afraid that they were going to be using these tokens, giving them to the developer, and the developer would be paid in Ethereum or Bitcoin or something. And that's what they were afraid, that there was going to be like an indirect connection with that, with something that they didn't want to support. But yeah, the coins definitely are not cryptocurrency. Like you said, they're
just standardized currency, so to speak.
Exactly.
And then the developer could go either route. So yeah, that's a lot of my fears have been.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I've been summarizing it to people is, and again, the Chuck E. Cheese fucking reference is brilliant.
No, it is brilliant. It works great.
But
it cleared it up a lot more for me.
Yeah, man, like the way I've been telling people is essentially like, okay, so it is essentially the same thing as an in-game currency that we've been used to. It's just formatted in a different way to kind of keep up with the times and to make it actually transferable to other games. In layman's terms, kind of making it as simple as possible into one sentence. That's kind of the way I've been throwing it at people.
I think you explained it to somebody before with using V-Bucks is one of the situations, right? So if we're looking at Fortnite V-Bucks, like now if V-Bucks was able to be used in Call of Duty, you know, you're just buying V-Bucks, you keep on buying V-Bucks, you're able to use it in Call of Duty, you're able to use it in Battlefront, you're able to use it in Paladins, whatever, you know, if you're able to use that currency over all of these different games, it would be the same thing as what Pocket Full of Quarters is right now. Is You're just happy to use it in multiple different games, but nobody has an issue buying V-Bucks, right? Because you're just putting it in, you're taking your money and putting it into in-game currency is all you're doing.
How dare you use the F word?
Can't whip him, bro. Aye.
Mouth of a sailor here.
All right, and this is another valid one because we bring up other currencies, and we've seen this little issue happen with other currencies before. Now, does Pocket Full of Quarters endorse gambling with quarters? Like any sort of wagering system or anything? Excuse me.
Yeah, I hear you. So we don't endorse gambling in the sense of real world value or anything like that. Quarters, again, they have no value outside of their ecosystem. So you technically can't really gamble. But with that, you can use quarters to create wagers. So we do stuff where people will put a bounty on somebody inside the game and you can wager quarters on that and different things like that, where it's fully skill based in that sense. But also, gambling, according to U.S. law, is also a game of chance. It's not a game of skill. We allow quarters to be used in a sense. We don't allow them to use in a sense of gambling in any way, shape, or form. So hopefully that's, comforting to hear. But yeah, we don't endorse any stuff like that.
You're telling me I can use quarters.
It's a game of skill, and that's why I'm bad at it.
Hold on. You're telling me I can use quarters to get bearded killed. That's what you just told me?
Hey, you could.
You don't need quarters.
That's not going to take too many quarters
to do that.
Hey, you also don't need quarters
to do that. It just happens. All I do is load up.
Now, Ryan brought up a great point that it's a very much a mutual relationship, right? Like not necessarily even just like on the monetary side, because of course indie studios do still need to get paid. It's more of the growth, the exposure, like on both sides as both companies climb horizons. Now, what made Pocket Full of Quarters specifically want to partner with Fall Elder Orb, like out of, you know, like I'm assuming hundreds of other companies that try, right?
A big thing is that they fall in line with the free to play and their distribution model with streamers as well. But a huge thing, even that I was able to note in conversation with Ryan, is that Fall is huge on community based things. When Ryan and I had a conversation, he couldn't talk enough about how much he loves the community and how entertaining they are, how funny they are, everything like that. A big thing, I used to be on the team with POQ of where we would recruit influencers and streamers and everything like that. And a big thing that we look for is people that care about their community and are connected with their community. I can't say enough great things about Fault and their community and how much they're driven by their community as well. So I know for myself, I can speak on the sense of a big thing that stood out to us and made us want to work with Vault is how community driven they are.
Yeah, and shout out to Strange Matter. I know Ryan's here, right? But I'm not used to saying this shit when he's around. But shout out to Strange Matter. And I've even said it on Twitter and everything, because the way that they've handled themselves as a company over the past 2 years has been amazing, right? Like seeing that type of behavior from an indie company, seeing that type of dedication, the tenacity, all that shit, mind blowing. And I think it's blown a lot of people's expectations out of the water, just seeing how they behave as a company. So quick little shout out there.
Agree. I also, with that, I think they need to dial it back just a little bit. Like, hey, we know you want to be a AAA company eventually, but let's get some memes out here. Let's joke, let's poke and joke and have a good time, you know? So I think that's where we need to find that. Wendy's is an
Wendy's,
company, but also is a good memeing company too. So let's find that medium there and we'll go.
Which I'm sure they will, for sure. Now,
100%.
Oh, did you want to say something? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
So I was just agreeing. Like we've always kind of had that mindset. We've always kind of been really kind of professional about it, because our goal was company based as well as just the game. But yeah, we've taken a few step backs a few times and been like, hey guys, like why are we pushing ourselves that hard to think this way when we're just like, we should enjoy ourselves on this journey before we actually get there and have to be like that.
Definitely.
So we're definitely going to start having a lot more fun. You've seen probably a lot of it happening on Twitter recently, but yes. we're definitely gonna be a bit memey. I don't know about Wendy's level, because Wendy's is just savage. But we'll see.
They can be brutal.
Hey,
all right.
I hope to see the day.
Where's the nearest Burger King? And Wendy's posts a fucking trash can.
Jeez. All right, now, Alex, question two kind of follow-up questions on stuff that we lightly touched on before. The first one being, is it going to be mandatory to create an account of any kind, or can an individual just play a game without having to engage if they choose?
Yeah, no, you don't have to use quarters in game at all. If you want to use quarters, you must create an account, log in, or be existing POQ member, but you don't have to use quarters. Yeah, if that answers your question.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Because I did hear the concern from a lot of people thinking like, it's like, yo, like they have to create an account. They have to do it through quarters. And, you know, I understand that sometimes people might want to do it their way. Sometimes they might want to join the group. And it's nice that all people are going to be able to still play the game and enjoy it the way they want to. Now, also, we did kind of dabble on this a little bit, talking about the differences between Pocket Full of Quarters and other blockchain currencies and stuff like that. But a lot of people are just asking the direct question, is the quarters currency okay to use on Steam?
Yeah. So quarters is we're just a consumer product, and we've been approved by the SEC again. So with that being said, quarters is not a cryptocurrency or anything like that, such as quarters falls under the same guidelines as any other in-app currency. So the game has gone into review by Epic, we've gone under review by Steam, and both have passed. So that's not something to worry about at all. As long as the transactions happen outside of Steam and they don't conflict with any other credit card processing, deals are okay to operate. Said, been passed through by Steam, been passed through by Epic. So yeah, everything's good to go. There's nothing to worry about there.
Awesome. Glad to hear. That was a personal question that I had, and I had a lot of people bring it up to me, and just hearing a clarified answer, we're chilling, is really nice to hear. Now, yeah, which is awesome by all means. Now, I know that we kind of touched a little bit on how people can earn quarters, but can I gift quarters. Like if I look at Bearded and I'm like, my dude, you need to buy this skin. Here's $5 worth. I got you, bro. Can I do that?
Yeah. So you can't give quarters in the same sense. You can't give V-Bucks or anything like that, but you can earn quarters by participating in tournaments on POQ.GG, like we talked about, with joining into other tournaments. A huge thing with like Ryan's team getting connected like this is they're jumping ahead of everybody else. This is a way that you can be a part of the gaming community. The reason why I would say that we don't make it mandatory, and same for Ryan's team, to make it mandatory where you have to use quarters, is that would be counterintuitive of us saying we want to give power back to players. We're not going to force you to make that decision. We're going to encourage you and tell you, hey, this is the right thing to do, but we're not going to force it down your throat. You can go into other tournaments with other players, other games, win quarters that way, different things like that, participate with your friends. That's another big reason why we added that Q bonus, to where you can always have tokens. You don't have to spend money to use tokens, to where you are constantly getting to be a part of the gaming community as well with other people.
And I'll tell you that answer to me makes quarters feel almost like a more of a community oriented currency, as opposed to it's like, hey man, we'll take your money any way possible. I'm a salesman by trade, right? Like I am in a trade where it's like, bro, as long as I get money, I don't care where it comes from. Like I got you. But it's nice to hear that it's much more community oriented. Like people can compete for them. You don't need, like, you can end up earning quarters by literally just participating in a fall tournament. You can end up earning quarters by even playing other games, and then you can come spend it on fall. So that whole atmosphere, that it's not as like, I guess some people would refer to it as a little bit more money hungry when, oh, they just want your money. It's like, hey, this is like the fact that it feels more community driven. It's awesome on my side. I don't know if
appreciate that
the rest of my cast would agree, but I like the way that answer came out.
No, definitely. Completely agree with that.
All right, but I know that your time is valuable, Alex. I just want to say thank you so much for being here with us. You didn't have to. We greatly appreciate it, my dude. And absolutely, you're always welcome down the road. Any of us here are all about marketing and socializing, networking, and everything. So if you're ever needing something, let us know, of course. But we appreciate it, homie, and I really do appreciate the time that you took out to be here. For sure. Yeah,
absolutely. Appreciate you guys. And y'all got a great guy here with Ryan. So I appreciate y'all having him on the show and having me as well. But look forward to the future with you guys, and y'all have a good one.
Equally. You be safe, bro. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for joining me, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, I will say, personally, I feel a little better.
Well, I did all the way up until he said that Ryan was a great dude. And I was like, I don't know if I can trust this guy.
He said all of that, and now I don't feel like I trust him anymore. I had faith, and no longer do.
He really did lay a lot of my fears to rest. There was a lot of stuff that I was very iffy on with Pocket Full of Quarters after I dug in and looked up. But again, I will fact check everything he said, but because that's just the way I am. But like, I obviously did a lot of research on them and tried to dig in and really find out what's going on. But with anything like this, you're going to have good and bad press, and you just got to dig in and find the facts. And that, definitely with it not being like blockchain oriented, that's going to be a huge thing. That's a lot of people. That's their biggest fear, is that they're going to be contributing to the metaverse. And this isn't that. This is, like you guys said, it's Chuck E. Cheese.
Right.
Bro, I love that fucking reference.
I think the whole idea for their name basically comes from like the fact that you can walk into, like you were saying, the fact that you can walk into arcade with a bunch of quarters and just go ham. Like the whole concept is built around that name. That's where it all comes from. Like,
right.
For all we know, some guy was in an arcade and was like, why isn't this the thing online? And that's how it started.
Dude, I'll be real with you. That sounds like it is.
The old Man Goose's younger days, I used to win a lot of quarters too in the actual arcade. Hustling kids on Street Fighter 2.
No, and I agree. I love the fact that he was able to put a lot of the fears to rest. And I want to thank again Ryan for hooking that up for us. That was great. That was one of the first. That's actually on the Fault Partner panel. That was our first guest. That is not a Fault player, not a Fault partner, not a Fault dev, like actual outside external source. So it was really great to have that, and appreciate that.
Yeah, of course, anytime. Like, I don't mind bringing people on. They were happy to join on as well. We're definitely going to start doing a lot more interaction with the community in general. And since you guys have a weekly show that's based on the community, you could definitely see a lot more stuff happening here as well.
Yeah. No, and based on the community, you don't have to say it if you don't want to, but does the Fault Partner panel and the community that watch it, do they have an influence on the game?
I can't, bro. He's like, you don't have to admit it, but I will take a nod or two blinks. Like,
right. There's been influence. I would say there was influence when I forget what it was, but there was an issue that the community was sort of talking about, and then you guys also brought it up and kind of brought up how actually severe it was on the outside, because we're on the inside, we don't always see everything as clearly.
Like the perspective.
And I do know that put a little bit of a rush on that fix. I'll have to remember by going back in the comments and finding it.
No, I mean, it's fine. It literally.
He's like,
the exact moment is fine. That's literally. I wanted the community to see that, like that.
The entire
you pointing out the fact inside influence and outside influence and how we're able to give that perspective,
right?
And them being here either on YouTube commenting or here on Twitch commenting, because we know there's devs watching the stream. We know there's devs watching the YouTube, and they're watching the comments, so they're able to see how the community actually feels. It's not, you guys aren't strictly watching Discord, Gen Chat, and feedback channels, and that's your only way of getting feedback on the game. You guys are out there watching other ways of getting this information.
Yeah, so, not everyone's going to use Discord, and also obviously it's fine to admit that that has an effect because you guys are part of the community, and the entire community has an effect on Fault. We listen to like everybody. We're watching everybody. Gen Chat, streams, YouTube videos, Twitter comments, Facebook comments. They come in from everywhere, and we're watching all of it. We may not. I will admit there is times where we don't always respond, but we do see everything. It's just we're a small team. We're going ham all the time. There's like one or two people reading everything at once because the other people are too busy like coding or building stuff up. So yeah, it's just people tend to forget. It's something about us needing to sort of embrace the indie side a bit more, is because people tend to forget that we are an incredibly small team that had a lot of interest right away. So we had to handle all of that interest, build up support systems, build up like email systems, everything in order to properly see everything. And we're at a very comfortable place as far as that goes now. So
that's great to hear. And I could actually interacting with you, because not only are you the community manager, but you're like the partner boss or whatever you want to say. You're the head of the partners, so so we've had a lot of interactions with you, and I can not only see it, but I can also hear it in you the relax in your voice and how you are. Like, it's definitely, you can tell there's a lot.
That's a good point.
A lot going on here, and it's nice to see that with you.
Yeah, people don't always I guess notice that stuff, but I'm just like chilling my knees up.
Stunt V going ham.
Like, yeah. Oh, Stunt V again, man. You're crazy. I see you gifting stuff to the community everywhere. That is insane. But yeah, it's awesome.
So with going free to play, as you guys announced and everything, and we know that the early access did not go as planned, like not just because of you guys, but because of all sorts of outside influences, and that lost a lot of players. Do you see this free to play as a second coming of Fault? Like, how much are you guys pinning on this?
To me, this is, we've been at the same spot the entire time. People thought we were like saying we were going higher, that we were going higher, but we've been in EA this whole time. It's been the same goal this entire time to get to that full release model. For me, this is us taking another actual big step towards that full release. It's about we feel comfortable enough to start opening the doors up. We feel comfortable enough to start our marketing, and we're getting much closer to our sort of full release by taking this next big step. And that's what this is kind of about in my eyes, is sort of the door was open with EA, and now we're actually starting to walk through it.
Heard.
Right on. I like that.
Now,
a lot of people don't seem to understand too that like you are paying for the opportunity to test the game, really, with early access. Like, that's what early access is supposed to be.
Yes.
And that's kind of the difference between you guys and a lot of the other games, is we have gotten to participate and watch the development of Fault, as opposed to getting small little spoonfuls of the game over the years.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we know where we are. We know where
Go
we
ahead.
stand, and we know it's thanks to all of you guys. Like we're not gonna like hide stuff. We don't have anything to hide. We're very transparent, and we like personally. I'm not going to speak for the entire dev team, but personally, I see it as all of us have built Fold over this past 2 years, and we're continuing to do so. So
That's a good point.
No,
People
I mean,
don't realize
you
that
guys-
even early access members are literally like paid testers at the end of the day. Because that's what we sign up for. Like we pay for early access to help give feedback, to develop the game, to help it get to where we want.
And that's one difference than the over the competing other MOBAs is the community has had the influence. You know, the influence of the other ones that you've only had the couple tests that you've been able to be in and been able to put feedback on that. And that's it. Other than that, all the other testing's behind closed doors and they're making changes that way. We've been able to do that all here, all in the open and have that influence here. So
I wasn't
it's
even
great to have that.
thinking about the sort of direct competition. I kind of meant like in general.
No, I know. And I was just putting that extra in there as well. You have all of that. Like
With us,
it's
like
there.
with us going into a free-to-play model, and as eventually when we go to full release, like we have a lot more to think about than just direct competition.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
we need to start thinking about like every game out there. We need to start looking at like what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong. There's a bunch of stuff that we need to pay attention to now as we step towards like free-to-play opening on Epic. And once we get full release, we're going to want to know everything basically.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to throw in there a question from this list that we got asked online. And of course, anybody that knows me knows that this question was going to make it into the conversation, right? Will we be seeing any schedule out of Strange Matter as far as heroes are concerned? And Bearded is laughing because I'm all about timelines. I'm like, yo, give me something. So, because I did get, of course, there's people asking, it's like, yo, when's this hero coming out? When's that hero coming out? He's like, hey, or like in general. And shout out to, I think this is pronounced Paul, Paool, maybe. But he specifically said, will there be a schedule when certain characters are going to get added? Just in general, and I thought that was the best way to summarize it.
Sort of like a roadmap for hero releases.
Essentially,
like what we had for season 0, but more sort of solidified.
Well, I would venture to say, even if it were more lenient, even as far as knowing it's like, hey, now that this hero is being confirmed, can we expect him within a certain time frame? Like, not necessarily give us all of your heroes up front, but just like once it's been like, hey, okay, this is the next hero, instead of just finding out the week before, like, can we find some little roadmap on maybe all the hints are tied together, somebody could figure it out slowly that there is a roadmap or something, creative ideas.
As far as the roadmap goes, publicly I'm not too sure, but we definitely want to sort of have more visual structure when it comes to that kind of stuff. And we will be working towards that internally. We have been this entire time. Hero releases are tricky. There's some things that go with hero releases and timing because of like opportune times to release something in gaming.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually certain times where a lot of action and traction actually happen, which is interesting. Christmas is a huge one. Just before Christmas, getting your stuff out there so that everyone wants it for Christmas.
True.
Yeah.
But you may bring up a great point, because you definitely don't want to be doing anything special on Call of Duty week, for example, right? So you gotta pay attention to the market and choose your times carefully, which makes 100% sense.
Stuff. I would love to lock into like an every 3 weeks hashtag thing like they did back in the day, which I still think is insane for them to accomplish. But I guess that's just the level of AAA. Like now that I'm actually been working for an indie company this long, a brand new original hero every 3 weeks from concept to reality working is insane.
Bro,
I'm sure we could probably get there, but yeah, that's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
I mean,
agree they didn't do it successfully.
yeah, I was about to say, like, we all saw this shit show that was, bro. Like, hey man, we are all okay with a little bit more time.
From concept to playable, it is playable. Now, is it the greatest playable? No, but it is playable. I mean, that's still successful in that term.
Just like creating the hero alone, thinking it up in one that would actually be viable and work in a MOBA, like that alone is a hassle. Then you got to move to the art team to make it look presentable and look good enough that people want to play it. That's just like the first step, and then there's like the actual implementation of all of that, rigging, building the skin up. Like, yeah, it's just insane.
Going back to hero release, though, I really want you guys to get back to the Decker and Grim release. All of those teases leading up to it, like you had no clue who it was. Like you were showing, hey, what is this? It's a portal type thing,
right? Showing me a random picture of a portal. It has nothing to like that shit had me talking for a week about nothing, bro. And I liked it, but at the same time I was like, what the fuck does this mean?
Did anyone ever notice what it is? Did anyone ever notice there's a Decker cage spinning?
Get the fuck out of here. Are you shitting me?
I'm surprised you didn't catch that, bro.
Yes.
All right, I'm officially a dumbass. Yeah, I'm officially a dumbass. All right.
So
next,
I figured
they made it cool. They made it like open up as it spans, so obviously you can't like tell right away. But it's
right.
They did a lot of cool stuff with that. There's a problem with it though, and as you want to build up hype, you want to do a proper release, but we could show like 2 pixels, and some people would be like, "Oh, that's crunch," like because they know what the hero is. So it's really, really tricky to sort of pull that off. We did it once, and it was a funny little thing that Balix did. The sort of what's this Pokemon thing, and
like the gadget
Kalari.
Upside down shoulder.
It was Kalari, but it was Kalari in like a skin no one had really seen before, so nobody could figure out the shape, and it worked. But it's really tricky. Trying to
remember that. I remember that Kalari one. Yeah. So yeah. But I mean, stuff like that. I loved it. Right. And even if you are able to figure it out, the gadget one, the turning her arm upside down type thing,
the battery charging that was going on socials for a while.
Yeah. Brought up debate. Like it was good for the community.
It was great for us content creators. We were able to make content off it. Even if we already knew what it was, we could still do the devil's advocate. Well, maybe it's this, and still play off of it. And it's great for content, and it's free advertising for you guys because we're out there making that content. So even if the majority, because it wasn't the majority of people, not everybody knew it was this person or this hero.
Right.
Yeah, you have those people that are going to be able to guess that just because they're like Mangoose and they know the lore like the back of their hand. They could sit here and just spit out facts about characters of Paragon. Yeah, they're going to have those ones, but not everybody. And plus, we're going to be digging into people who don't even know what Paragon even was. They're not going to know. So that teaser is going to be great for them as well. So I think getting back to those is going to be huge for the community, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. We definitely want to do stuff like that, and I have a lot of ideas. We have a lot of ideas for stuff that's going to just drive you guys crazy trying to figure out what's what.
Let's go.
Challenge accepted.
There's one plan I have that I would love to do that I brought up to the team a while ago. The only hint that I'll give you guys is that it would heavily involve Jester. But other than that, it would be a lot of fun to do, and I cannot wait.
This is what I'm talking about. You just confused me even fucking more. Jester? Like what? All right. So this is a question that I'm still getting a lot. And even though I know the answer to this, I wanted to ask it so people can actually hear it from you. Crossplay in general, what is the goal?
We do want everyone to be able to play. We're not going to like separate Epic and Steam. That's not the plan there. And as for consoles, we do also want to have crossplay. We've had conversations about it, but I can't really fully confirm if we are going to have it. But I know that we want it.
It's an intent, at least for sure. That's a goal, even though there might be hurdles, things to talk to, companies, etc.
There's a lot of things people have concerns about when it comes to crossplay. I don't know if anybody remembers, there were some decisions that were made a long time ago that led to sort of being more lenient towards the controller player, and a lot of PC people took it as taking away from skill. For instance, Quang a long time ago, in the original Quang had a very little singular person sword route, and they made it basically like a lane wide to be easier for like controller people. And
I did not know that.
Oh yeah. I think the same thing happened to Sephiroth's route too at the same time.
I mean, because, and we're not going to get into this argument because we can sit here all day and talk about the difference between controller, keyboard and mouse, etc., advantages, disadvantages. But I find that interesting. I didn't even know that was a thing, that controller players got a little bit more preference but I guess it would be the equivalent of putting aim assist on a controller in a shooting game. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's like a lot of people actually don't know this about me. I was a console gamer for ages. I played the crap out of Diablo 2 and StarCraft and Age of Empires on PC, the old school kind of days. But then I moved to console and was console up until 2016, and then I got a PC, started playing other games, started streaming, and then actually, yeah, it would have been like 2017 or so that I was a console gamer up until. So I know all about that stuff. I don't think there's really much argument towards like who's better, because I've seen people that have played with the controller their whole life just absolutely destroy people.
Yeah, it's a skill level thing for sure. Individual.
Yeah, you're gonna have that skill level no matter what. It just depends on like, is that console person actually like a pro compared to that PC person, or you know, it's
for sure.
It's tricky. But
there were actually benefits to playing on a controller in Paragon, especially if you were playing a melee hero. You had a little more control over their movement.
I like controllers for certain games. Like I wouldn't have played Elden Ring on a PC. Hell no. I grabbed my controller, plugged that in.
Yeah, same here, man.
Played the whole thing. Like
yeah, for sure. Like, could you imagine playing a fighting game on a keyboard? Holy shit!
I've tried it. It sucks.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do
holy. All right.
By the way, I stayed sober for the POQ guy, but
he said time to dive in.
You don't get the same respect.
That's all good, man. I'd rather everybody loosened up.
I think that's actually more respect for Ryan. The fact that you feel comfortable enough to do the drink in front of Ryan.
Yeah,
100%. I'll be right back in exactly like 5-10 minutes, chat. I just have to grab something really quick that I said I would do right now. So I'm going to do it before I forget. So I'll be right back.
All right.
What is he going to do? Am I the only one that's wondering?
He probably has something. I mean, he's busy. He's a busy guy, so he's probably got something he's gonna do. He told him, "Hey, I can take care of it." You know,
maybe, but he was smiling like a funded party. He was smiling like a funded party. I don't know.
Hey, that's gonna be my next stream title, funded party.
You won't. You won't.
Oh, I will guarantee.
Let's see if I can.
Oh, bro,
party is
Jesus. So. Let's talk amongst us in general. So
now that he's not here, and I'm not gonna, because I feel bad saying it right in front of him. Listen to Mangoose's.
Listen to this later.
Listen to Mangoose's live reaction to the dev stream, right? And I completely agree with him, and it definitely made my feelings not as upset, I guess we'll say is the word I want to use. SMS and their ability to overhype things, right? They hyped up this dev stream like there's so much to be here, right? And then even when everything got released by BuzzFeed, they're like, don't worry, we still got a lot of content. And then you watch the dev stream and it's like, that was pretty much the content. And then the rest of it was a Q&A of what Viking says, kicking stuff down the road, you know? And it's like, I watched it, I'm like, okay, I was expecting something bigger than what the BuzzFeed announcement was, and I just didn't get that. But I can
see that
what Mangoose said, and if you guys haven't watched Mangoose, go to Mangoose's YouTube page, watch it. It's a great video of him and Vikings talking. I mean, Mangoose doesn't like that style of video, but it was nice. I like to hear their
welcome to our world.
What I didn't like about it is weren't able to pause and talk. That's what I didn't like about it. Anyways. What Mangoose was saying is like it literally took their feet out from under them with that BuzzFeed leaking too early. And if you didn't have that BuzzFeed announcement and nobody in the community doesn't know what's happening, and they make that announcement for free to play, and they make that announcement for going
like the name change, everything. Yeah,
the name change, all of this would have been a huge dev stream. Just that alone, take out the Q&A, everything, that would have been a huge stream. Would have been great.
So. I don't disagree with you that BuzzFeed kind of screwed up the announcement for them, by all means, right?
They really did.
And that sucked. That sucked by all means. Even though, at the same time, I'm over here like, well, us being partners, we've had a little version of BuzzFeed announcement in our ears for 2 years, and we usually know what to expect out of these at the same time. You get me? Like it's almost like the expectation I've set myself. If I see anything that I didn't know about, I'm like, oh, they got me. Oh shit. Okay, hold up. Let me sit up. Which I will say, shout out to Balix, because I thought that the question and answer portion was my favorite part of the dev stream.
Yeah.
Like the liveliness, the conversations going back and forth. I found out stuff through there because I threw my own question or two in there that actually got read.
We saw it.
And I was like, let's fucking go. They answered it. Like, for example, they mentioned, and I don't even know if this was supposed to be on purpose, right? But they mentioned that they're working with third-party studios for console ports. So I was like, whoa, hold up. That's new to me. I asked them on the spot, and I was like, so does this mean that since another company is helping handle the console porting, that we're going to get consoles sooner than we expected? And their answer was, well, since the other company is handling it, they said they would assume so. Because Strange Matter focuses on their thing, and the other company focuses on the port, as opposed to Strange Matter having to balance both and trying to do both at the same time.
Right.
Now, we didn't get a date for console or anything like that. So before anybody starts asking, console when? PS4 when? By the way, anybody that's asking about PS4 specifically, if it comes to PlayStation, it's going to be for sure PS5, maybe PS4. I'm assuming they would try to have a PS4 version, of course. But I know for a fact that PlayStation, as of June of last year, correct me if I'm wrong there, Goose. As of June of last year, PlayStation made it to where all games have to be at least PS5 compatible. Right?
Well, their policy now is if you weren't already developing for PS4, then you have to develop for the PS5.
Got you. Okay.
Right. So, and if they are able to develop for the PS4 as well, because PS5 guaranteed, right? That's what we're going PS5, because why would you not
the future?
Get things ready for the future, right? But not everybody has a PS5, so why would you not, if it doesn't cost extra, or if it's not that much harder, even if it does cost a little bit extra, why would you not also get things ready for the PS4 as well and tap into both of those so then everybody can play?
That's a lot of extra, though.
Yeah, that might be quite a bit of extra money. I could see them wanting to try. It's just realistically,
it goes into it. I have no clue what money goes into any of this. So
it's not as much money as time. Like the optimization, you see how they have to work with optimization for so hard for PC. Optimizing for like a PS4, PS5 is actually a little bit easier because you're working with the exact same hardware, but you would have to optimize for both PS5 and PS4, and that would
then the variance in between also.
Yeah.
Hello.
Muted
thing with me.
Oh no, you're back. You're back. You're good. You're good.
The fuck is that? Well, I see it.
Oh, that's his. I
was just giving
ice ball.
And you can squeeze it, and it just.
What the fuck?
It feels so good, dude. It feels.
I thought it was a horse apple. I learned that term.
Horse apple. What is a horse apple?
Oh, road apple.
Oh, road apple. Okay.
Yeah, which is a horse turd on the street.
Oh, okay.
Bro, he came back. I looked at him and I was like, "Is that an avocado? What the fuck?"
Elder Orb confirmed.
Elder Orb confirmed. That's funny as hell,
man. Keep your eye on the orb.
So yeah, we're just talking, and I'll just throw another shout out to Balix, because Balix joining you on that dev stream, which again, guys, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. Balix joining you on that dev stream was refreshing to me. Definitely change of pace, change of mood, ambiance, and everything, right? But I personally thought that the question and answer portion, where you guys just kind of go dabbing back and forth and including community questions, that was my favorite part of the whole dev stream.
Awesome.
Did you just fucking dab, Bearded? Jesus Christ.
I was dabbing back and forth.
Oh my God.
We had a lot of fun together. We have good chemistry, and the guy, like, we've been making jokes behind the scenes forever, so it's fun to finally get him kind of on camera to join in on it live.
Yeah,
he did a good job too.
it definitely, what's a good word to use? Livened up the perspective that people had towards Strange Matters. Because, like, for example, when you and Sylphan are there, it's like business, right?
yeah.
Like, you get me? It's like, hey, man, I don't want to say the wrong shit in this meeting because the people that are in here sort of vibe. Like, it's just like a lot more seriousness, but there are times where more seriousness is needed, right?
Right.
So shout out to that. But being able to just kind of liven it up specifically and involve the community, question and answer and stuff like that, I think it was a properly executed move.
The two of you made a good mullet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, Virginia.
Can Sylphan and Morgan Freeman tell a joke in the same room?
What the fuck?
I think it's just there's too much seriousness going on in that, right?
Yeah, he's got his funny
Jesus.
side too. He's got his funny side too. But we had that mindset, as I was saying earlier. We've had that mindset kind of for a while, and we're starting to loosen up a lot more now.
Good to hear.
Also, I'll take any excuse I can to show off another face in the team, because I know it's my job to be the face, but I think everyone should kind of get some recognition because they go ham. Like, it's insane.
Does that mean those little interviews that we tried doing a little bit ago, can we get those kind of ramped up a little bit more again or something like that, since people are more willing?
Let us get this out of the way. Let us get this release going, and then hopefully you can start seeing a lot more of everyone's faces. Because we've been working really hard for quite a while, and it'll be nice to kind of take a little bit of a break and kind of merge with the community a bit more. I think everyone will appreciate that. I gotta stop playing with this thing.
You're good, bro. Goose, you want to do the honors and go over the free to play launch dev blog update thing?
Oh, let me pull it up. I didn't know you were going to ask me to do that.
So I will unfortunately have to be here for a couple more minutes. I do have to sort of head out. I'm up early tomorrow to prep for Sunday.
So you're chilling, bro. We appreciate you being here just in case. So if you want,
what's happening Sunday?
Oh,
we are doing our anniversary stream. It should be around 3 p.m. It should still be at 3 p.m. But yes, we will be doing an anniversary stream, just kind of looking over the past, comparing old footage, like old YouTube videos that we have unlisted now of like the really, really old early days. You guys might remember that I had a thing where we used to take community clips and turn them into a series of videos. We're going to look at those again, take a look at the difference. Windu's Chimera Pentakill is on one of those, if I remember right.
Have a pentakill with Chimera?
Yeah, you have a pentakill with Chimera on one of those.
Oh, I didn't learn this now. Yeah,
early days.
I recognize the play in the gameplay trailer. I think you took it from when we were doing the when we would play with you for the partners.
Yeah, all those matches. That's what those are. When I joined you guys for games,
yeah,
that's what that trailer is.
Okay, that was definitely your steel diving into to my Decker cage with the
we
gadget Tesla dome on top of it. Yeah,
we pulled off a Gideon Decker gadget, or no, I think it was a gadget Gideon Decker combo. I don't know. It was insane, and then the steel ult on the top. We had a lot of crazy moments. I love that my little double kill got in there with Murdock. I like that shot because it's not really about like showing off skill or anything. It's showing the fact that we have the ability to flick when you're shooting. Like people who play shooters will understand what I mean by a flick. Mm-hmm. I was flicking shots at him while I was jumping around the wall that whole time. Yeah. And being able to do that, I think I was even on EU ping, if you look at the top right.
Okay, all right. You don't got to flex that hard, Ryan. You don't got to.
I didn't even notice until I watched the trailer that like 75% of those clips are on these servers.
Bro, I'll tell you what. That was like, I liked the video. I think I also really liked, I probably liked the most the fact that I saw other community members in the video.
Yeah. I love
you get me? Like it wasn't just staged.
When we showed the thing on live, the people saying, "Ha, get wrecked, this guy," and all that kind of stuff. It was just funny to see them kind of banter over the trailer and what they saw happening because they know the people that are in it. It was right. I was smiling and trying to like hold it back a bit.
All right, Ryan, if you want, because I know you said you only had a couple minutes. So where can people find you next? And this is basically just a plug to what you mentioned a second ago, the dev stream. And what do you have to say to the community? Like a little personal message from you to the community.
Basically, obviously we're going to be live on the 12th, or we're going to be live Sunday at 3 p.m. We're going to go live for an hour or two and just kind of look at everything. You guys can find us there on the Strange Matter Twitch. As for a message to the community, I'm going to be talking to you guys directly during the stream, but it's basically just pure gratitude. I mean, I know that a lot of people have been like DMing me. I might have missed stuff, but I was on the grind and I couldn't talk about what it was. So I was very excited to be able to tell everybody, you know, like I was working on a movie. We were working on tons of things together as a company, including the movie. It was just like complete swamp trying to get everything good and going. And I do feel a little bit bad for people who might have had their DMs not responded to, but I did see what you said. A lot of your stuff was still brought up to the dev team. I just didn't necessarily have the time for a conversation or a reply, sadly, sometimes. But I'm very happy that we are moving into the next stage. I'm incredibly happy that a lot of you guys are still here, and I still see you in the Gen Chat, people that were here from day one. I truly, truly appreciate the community, and we will continue to keep listening to you guys. You guys will always have a voice in Fault. That's one of our main goals.
Appreciate it, homie. And thank you for taking time to do this, because again, just like we told Alex a moment ago, you didn't have to come on here and, you know, kind of spread the wisdom, answer our questions and everything. I know for a fact, a lot of companies try to dodge any direct answer questionnaire sort of vibe, and a lot of companies are afraid to even just face the question. So I appreciate you taking some time here to kind of dabble with us a little bit. Thank you, bro.
I'm so surprised they let me out here and just wing this stuff, but that's just sort of another like all the
bro. That's what we do.
I'm not reading off a script or anything. I'm just going with it, and that's kind of shows how we're not really hiding or anything. We're very transparent because I'm not scripted. There's no reviewing what I'm going to say on a dev stream before I go live. They just know, like, oh, what are you going to talk about? Okay, this stuff, cool. Can't wait to see what they think. Like, that's basically how we are, and it's it's awesome.
Which is super awesome to see the development. I would say, man, I mean, kudos. Go ahead.
Windu, you said face, and I want to kind of show some faces to the devs, if possible. Ryan, can we get a little talk to the devs? And we've already seen Belix's face, we've seen Sylphan's face. I know it's tough to get a lot of them in here, but if we can get some of them to come on here to the Fault Partner panel and just kind of talk to the community and kind of show their face, if possible, that would be great if we can pull it off. Just like, again, thank you for getting Alex on here, because that was great to have that conversation and to put a lot of us at ease with those questions. So
yeah, I'm very happy you was able to join us. We anticipated that people would kind of react the way they do. We're not blind. We know what people would think from the first thing. So we wanted to ensure we did everything we could to, like us and POQ. We wanted to ensure we did everything to kind of ease everybody's minds so that we can start having fun together, all of us.
For sure.
Yeah, but I will head out and finish off some of my work for tonight and then get ready for dev stream. Everybody have yourself a great night. Thank you guys for having me. But yeah, I'll catch you later.
Love you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Love you.
Don't get too drunk.
I did not say that, Goose. I support a drink, my friend. I might join you in a bit.
And remember, we got to remember the first time we do some Fault meetup to bring the fun dip.
Oh, no.
He likes to eat fun dip, guys.
Hey.
I'm gonna get some. No, this will sell it around here. I'm gonna get some. Sneak one on a dev stream.
You won't. Oh, bro, you won't.
Yes.
Oh no, you won't. Jesus.
Oh shit.
All right, but yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one.
Oh, much love. Goose in the chat said, "A gaming Goose." He said, "Falcon confirmed." Hello. Hello. Oh, bro.
Falcon, aka Fun Dip Party. Let's go.
Oh man, I'm gonna go wrestle an alligator instead or some shit in Florida. Get me out. Oh, bro. What? So, let's go ahead and go over the this little dev blog. Now, the dev blog is kind of a summary of what went on during the dev stream, kind of not at the same time. I still do encourage everybody to go into the dev stream, specifically as to the Q&A portion of it, because it was very insightful. We touched on a couple things that they mentioned, but I still encourage everybody to check that out. They did upload it to their main YouTube, but definitely check that. But let's get right into it. Goose, if you could do the honors.
Do you want to skip straight to the what are they working on? Because everything else is kind of recapping the things we've already talked about tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be real with you. I'm a-okay with that. Do you want to start on the free skin, maybe?
While you're looking at that, how about we talk about that new logo though? What are you guys' thoughts on the new logo?
Okay, so
different from the old one.
I was gonna say, I'll be honest with you. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the middle stem is upside down. That's what I'm noticing. I could be tripping.
I don't have my head out here.
Yeah, but do we have the? I'll go look for it.
Font for fault, and there's an actual fault line in the U, which is kind of cool.
Oh, I just caught that. I didn't even notice that shit. Okay,
fault line.
Mangoose.
And it extends to the R in Elder Orb. Look at that.
It does. Yeah.
Oh, split down the mid, bro. All right, you should be a
detective. It's like that. It's almost like it's a wedge.
And it's trademark
line. And it's trademark. Dude, I'll be honest, I didn't even notice the TM in the corner.
I think it's a little more jagged looking, the logo. It's not as smooth as what it was, and it doesn't have that circle on the bottom, right?
Oh, you're right.
There is differences to it. It's not, the exact same.
There are little chips in it.
It's the same thing as with adding Elder Orb default. Is they wanted to keep it they're same or the nostalgia reasons, so it's kind of keeping the same logo to it, but it's also making it new and giving a little more flair to it. That's the way I see it.
What? It's more Paragon-y too.
What do you mean by Paragon?
The old fault one was like this, sort of.
Okay,
this more straight up.
This one, yeah. Okay, yeah. And that's kind of what I was getting at.
It's more of a V than a U now.
Sorry, baby. But yeah, so.
Don't call me baby.
No, fucking not you. The baby was crying. Jesus. Oh my gosh. I mean,
you want me to talk about this free skin?
All right, what are we working? I think we should mention the Gideon skin real quick, and then go into what are we working on personally.
So those who download and play the Epic Games version of Fault will be granted the Epic Astro Gideon skin for free. And this is the Astro Gideon skin, but apparently it is sort of a black and white, and it's done in such a way that's going to pop, from what they said during the
I believe
the dev stream.
I believe Balik said it was like a gunmetal gray black, and then the white is more of like a pearly white that will kind of help pop off of it.
This I do not like.
I know.
Really? Oh, this is the first I hear. Talk to me.
Well, the people like the Astro Gideon skin is a skin that you have to pay. Well, you don't have to, but you can pay real money for.
Like more of a premium skin. I gotcha.
Yeah, it's a premium skin. The people that bought the Astro Gideon skin, it's kind of like they just bought a recolor if they're just going to get this skin for free.
Okay.
It's like they bought the blue version of it when they could just get the black and white version for free. Like, I don't like that they're doing this.
I see the counter argument. Would your mind be changed if it were a limited thing?
No, not at all. It's still a free version of a skin that people paid for. I would much rather they do a completely different skin.
I can see that. And I'll agree with you on that one. I will. Because it is one of those things that it's cool to give somebody a free skin, right? By all means. And it's still a good idea. But arguably one of the most premium skins Strange Matter has made, given out for free as a recolor, it almost defeats the purpose of the original, even in general moving forward, right? Like trying to get people to spend their matter, premium currency, quarters, etc. moving forward when they can get a free version that's black and white, maybe even cooler. You get what I'm saying? It almost devalues the original skin. So
your audio is kind of crackly.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to talk. Yeah, you kind of have like a little robot sound to it. Maybe unplug or replug back in or something. I don't know. Okay, I mean, I completely understand your argument, and I don't know. I'm more on your side than I'm not on the other side, I guess, in that situation. I just don't know where I stand in a sense, I guess. It makes sense, and I'm completely with you. What about the idea though, with the same idea, this, like, what about all the people who've been playing on Steam like this whole time? Like, so just because you play on Epic, you get this? How's that going to be perceived?
I mean, I can tell you, do I sound better, by the way?
Yes, you do.
Okay, thank you. I can tell you every other game ever that has ever done anything like this, I log in on Epic for the free skin and then go back to Steam.
Yeah.
That is one thing they did say.
It's your Strange Matters account. So
yep. That is one thing they said, that your account is your account, so then you would be able to do that. So in a sense, so you could definitely, I mean, that's something you might as well.
Right? Like,
refugees are understandably very much against doing anything to support Epic Games.
Right. But
creating an account? If they are, I mean, they already have an account because they played Paragon if they're a refugee.
Yeah, but there's,
you feel me? Like, they could easily just, you know what? I fucking hate this. But give me that free skin. All right, bye, bitch. And then go back to Steam. Like, yeah, I'm still mad at you, but thank you. Like,
I'm just telling you.
No, and that's an interesting point, because even earlier when we joked about it, how dare you mention the F word, right? Paragon refugees still do have that sentiment, but I think it would be worth questioning which, and I guess it'll be interesting seeing here the first couple of weeks, right? Which audience is going to be bigger in the next couple of weeks? The refugees that are going to try this game out again or try it for the first time, or new people that weren't refugees?
Right.
You know?
So, and that's my argument. Now, I only ask that question devil's advocate wise because I personally am not, again, that's what I would have done. I'll go to Epic Games, download it, all right, then go back to Steam or play whatever one I want to play. If I want to play on Epic Games, I'll play on Epic Games. It doesn't matter because it's going to be cross-platform, right? But speaking of the F word, right? I remember when loading in on PlayStation, you got there was a PlayStation skin, right? I can't remember what it was, a blue whatever skin, but there was an Xbox skin too, right? Now you can't load up, you're not going to load up on both, in that situation. So Xbox got there, so when Fault does go to console and they have they're going to have their PlayStation Store skin, they're going to have their Xbox Live skin. What is Xbox's store name? Whatever. They're going to have that, whatever.
Microsoft
Xbox
Store
skin. I don't know.
That's a great question. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the name of it.
So they got rid of Live, so I don't know what it is anymore. But yeah, so I mean, you're gonna have those. So like, I don't have an issue with it. And if anything, people should have the issue not with Strange Matter Studios, but have the issue with Steam, because I believe that this Epic free skin was something that they wanted to organize. Epic wanted to organize when Fault was going free to play on their platform, right? And it's the same thing with when PlayStation. If PlayStation wants to, hey, you guys are coming on PlayStation, let's get a skin out there for all the PlayStation viewers or gamers. Let's get a skin out there for the Xbox gamers. Let's get a skin out there for the Atari gamers. All those people, right?
Atari lit.
Played on my Jaguar.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not against skin exclusivities, even if it's just a recolor. But I'm 100% with Mangoose. Don't do a premium skin.
Yeah,
like there's a reason. Like, even if they want to do like an Undertow Gideon, which is arguably a premium skin, but it's an Epic asset, right? If they want to do recolors of that and be like, yo, play on Xbox, you get a green one. Play a PlayStation, you get a PlayStation blue one. Play on.
Much prefer they used one of the Epic asset skins.
Same. And then
would have much preferred is that they used a fucking brand new skin that we've never seen before. Like Jelly said, this kind of shows that they don't have a whole lot of skins in their back pocket.
I mean, that's a great point, because it definitely makes it seem like they're trying to hold their skins. Because especially based off of what Ryan just said, he said, and correct me if I'm wrong, he said we have a whole bunch of skins and concepts that we've shown before that we have in our back pocket. The fact that they didn't, or they could have even used one of the concepts from before, like Vacation Severog, that we knew got executed but just never implemented. They could have done something like that. Something. But doesn't that make you? So that's what I'm saying. Doesn't that make you feel like they have like a season 1 plan around the corner or something?
Perception. Jelly said it's the perception of what's going on, and because there's no way to actually confirm it. That's why I say it's perception, right?
Yeah.
So it's perceived as they don't have a lot of skins going on, but there is potential that they have a lot of skins going on, because we have seen some of the concepts and we haven't seen anything of those concepts actually in game, right? We never saw a concept of this new Decker skin that we got. I say new, but the newest Decker skin that we got. We didn't see a concept of the Astro Gideon skin, you know? So we've seen concepts, but we've actually never seen them be put actually in game. So because of that, I would say that there's probably the Vacation Severog skin. I could definitely see that being a part of a season 1 pass. And they have, because of their last season 0 pass, it kind of had a little bit of a theme. Now, did that theme, kind of miss around here a little bit? Yeah, maybe, it didn't really fit in some of those places, but it did have a Aztec,
or like an ancient civilization theme.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. That's the best way to say it, right? So it had a theme to it. So maybe Vacation Severog, maybe they're going to do something with the vacation skins, or whatever, and they're going to kind of do something. Here you go. Here's another recolor for, Summer Fun Twin Blast, but then here's, Severog, Vacation Severog, vacation whoever, and stuff like that. Maybe they have a line like that for the season 1 pass or something.
Maybe.
But perception does show, it does look that way, and I understand that perception. What I hate, though, and it's just because I try to get rid of that mentality, because it's in the military, perception's reality, and I hate that mentality. But it's also kind of true.
Yeah, I was gonna say that mentality's there though, because
it is. I know. Yeah. I
because of experience. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not there. It's me, my anti of the military, and it's like no, I don't want it to exist, but it does exist. I get it.
All right. So what are we working on, or what are they working on?
What are we working on? Maps. New map. Our new map is in its gray box stage, and development of it continues along with internal testing. The new map will take time, but it is happening. Our current focus is our current map and optimization.
I mean, I'm a little disappointed, but I'm not mad at it. Like, I understand it. Is that weird?
What are you disappointed about?
Well, because the part that disappoints me is the fact that, like, how long ago the new map was talked about versus just finding out that it's still in gray box stage, right? So, I mean, that just lets me know, of course, they've been prioritizing, like they said, the current map optimization, which was 100% necessary, because there were a lot of issues with the map that have been ironed out over the last year.
Right.
So kudos to them, because, it was necessary. They couldn't just ignore some of the shit that was happening with the map. So just want a new map. So that's what I'm like disappointed. I'm like, gray box still, man.
I'm just happy the fact that they kind of told us where they're at with it. Like, all we knew is they're working on a new map. The from here to this point right now, before gray box scale, we just knew that Sylphin said, hey, here's our issues with this map. We need a new one, and we're going to be working on a new one. That's all we knew. And there's nothing else for that, right? We could be sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, the new map's got to be right around the corner. They could be just working optimization right now, and we'll have the new map with 17.5. We could be at that point. Well, now we sit here. All right, here's a grayscale. At least we have an idea of where that's at, where it's sitting, and all right, we can kind of understand where to go from here. What I don't understand with this announcement is, why are they putting so much into this current map if we know we're getting a new map?
True, but I think that happens with all games. It's unfortunately, it's like the lesser evil argument, right? It's like at the end of the day, we're gonna get rid of it. But if you're going, I hate to use a relationship example, right? But because I totally understand why it doesn't make sense, right? Like if you got a girlfriend that you know you're gonna get rid of eventually, why try to make things better, right? So I totally get that argument. But now imagine, let's say the divorce isn't, let's say the way you want things to go, you need at least another year for you to execute your plan of leaving that girl perfectly, right? You're like, hey man, I gotta make sure I cut all these fucking ends, bro. Like this can't be messy. We gotta execute it flawlessly. I might need another 6 months of planning, arranging and shit. Like I need a place to stay, blah, blah, blah. You feel me? Like, let's say in that scenario, it's like, hey man, I'll try to make it work for now. I'm not trying to perfect it, but I'm trying to at least make it work until that one day comes and I'm like kicking it to the curb, new map. Does that scenario kind of ring a little bit?
It does. Go ahead, Goose.
Well, after I thought about this for a while, I kind of realized, if their map was the new map was further along in development and could drop with free to play, then I would 100% want them to say, fuck the old map, fuck all that optimization shit, focus on the new map. But with free to play coming out and this movie coming out and all these big changes, I do like that they're trying to make what they have now as best as it can be.
And just literally this little bit of time of having this conversation, it made me think as well, them getting the practice with this map and getting optimization and getting things working the way they wanted to and balancing around this map is good practice for when they do get the new map out there, so where they can get that optimization going to where they want, they can get their balancing going where they want with the new map too. So it's definitely good in that regards, but it being an indie dev company, them this is their first true map they're working on. So
that's a good point to me as well. This is their test trial map. All the mistakes, all the learning curves, the different things that we've seen from the actual assets used, the fidelity of them, how to optimize. We've been through quite a bit with this current map, even the upgrades of it, right? So that is an amazing point to the fact that I rather them do all these fuck ups now and at least give us something stable while they create a better map with everything that they've learned. Is that weird? You hear me?
Yeah, no, I agree. Sorry, I was reading the chat. I was also listening to you, so it's like, no, it makes sense.
All right.
Anyway,
you guys ready to move on to ARAM?
Do it.
We have seen many players jumping into our custom game modes and all running down the mid lane to have epic 5v5 battles right from the start of the match. We have seen this and the community's craving for an ARAM map mode, and we are happy to inform everyone that this map is already in development. Our original ARAM map is in the gray box stage as well, and we anticipated it will be launched before our full new map we spoke of earlier. So ARAM before the new map. And I'm assuming it's going to be 3v3 ARAM.
Why?
Why do you say that?
Because usually ARAM is 3v3 whenever they make a specific map for it. Every other MOBA that I've ever seen that has ARAM, it's not full teams.
Really?
Yeah. And I mean, they say
Smite's Joust is 3v3.
Well, they have their Joust, but they have an ARAM map.
What's their ARAM map?
I thought their ARAM map was 3v3 as well.
No. I mean, so their Joust mode.
Arena mode?
So there's arena mode. There's the Joust. Like I guess you could argue that Joust is their ARAM mode. But, I mean, so League of Legends had a 3v3, but that was a 2-lane. They have an ARAM mode that's normal. I don't know if I can.
I would love to have the option of 3v3 and 5v5. I would love to have the option to do both on the same map.
I mean, that would be cool. I mean, I don't know about the same map. That's a little too big.
Not every time. I mean, it's just one lane. You're literally pushing the same lane. Doesn't matter. Like,
I mean, if it's a custom match, yeah, sure. Whatever.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's going to be a custom match. That's what the whole point of it being a custom play. It's like, I don't think you're going to play ranked for ARAM. I mean, maybe you would in the future. and that's fine. I mean, but then you're gonna have to it'll be a different situation then. But I don't know. I'm okay with 3v5, 3v3, and 5v5 because, like I said, there's times I was holding custom ARAMs or customs overall for a while there, and there's just times with this player base, and hopefully the player base gets bigger to the point to where I can hold customs again like I used to, and we can do this. But like a 3v3, I can get 6 people, but there's times I'm sitting there like with 8 people waiting for 2 more just to get customs going, right? But if I had those 8 people, I could do a 3v3 ARAM.
I mean, hopefully that changes with an influx of players.
Right. I would just prefer a 3v3 ARAM mode, just a quick jump in and play mode. That would be easier to matchmake, wouldn't mean nearly as much, and people just wouldn't get as angry.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad against it because now that you mention it, I absolutely love doing the 3v3s on Smite when I did play it. It was arguably my favorite game mode. I'm like, I don't want to sit here and play Conquest. I don't want to sit here and like have to learn rotations and shit like that. Like, I'll be honest with you, I'm never going to dedicate that much time into Smite to actually care. But if anybody ever wants to play Smite, I'm like, yeah, let's do Joust. And it's just 3 of us just having fun. So wouldn't be mad at that at all. I know some people feel otherwise. And I know plenty of League players that only play ARAM and always, just 5v5, all random, all mid, like, YOLO, you're doing it. And I'm okay with that.
You and I played on fucking OverPrime's 3v3 ARAM whenever that was live for a little bit, and we had a good fucking time with that.
True.
Even though Howitzer was stupid fucking overpowered in that mode, but that's another thing with ARAMs is you're going to have some heroes that are just fucking stupid in that mode, but that's fine because it's not really
it's not balanced for that. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Player learning.
Amma does say in chat, so just confirming ARAM wouldn't be match made with like MMR anyway. He says the biggest thing is just random heroes for the ARAM, so there wouldn't be a matchmaking with that.
Oh, nice.
I like it.
All right, player learning, gym mode. We have been working on a new feature that will allow players to load into a new location that will be full of areas for practicing and testing heroes and builds against all of the monsters, buffs, heroes, and structures that exist within the battlefield of Fault. We do not have a date for this feature's launch, but we will keep everyone informed in future development streams and blogs. I fucking love this.
Yes, bro. How long have we been asking for this? And they can keep that in gray box mode. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, yo, like, it doesn't even have to be pretty.
Yeah.
Just give me a zone where I can try shit out. I love it. I'm not mad at that. I'll tell you, I was surprised at this during the dev stream. I didn't think they were gonna say some shit like this. And I was like, wow, okay, lit. Like it.
No, I like it. It's definitely something that's going to be huge for gamers like me that are trying to get better at the game. You can go in there, you can understand why crossbow is better to take early compared to, Windu's Phantom Blade, whatever, like you can, counter argument or whatever, stuff like that. It's good to see that what benefits you're getting when you put an item on, or where you're at a certain level. Hey, if I'm level 15 and I have these items on, what am I doing compared to level 15 and these items on? Mm-hmm. So it's good to see that stuff
and not have to waste a whole 40 minutes just to check it out.
Right.
For sure.
And even then you're still not like, you still don't know what's going on just because the game's not playing the way it would have played. So like you're at that point, you're like, okay, sure, I shot a level, because like you want to know what damage you're doing, but when you're one-shotting a Murdock because you're so many levels ahead of them because you've ran through,
it's hard.
The levels, it's hard to tell what you're doing actually.
You need a constant when you're actually testing shit like that, for sure, and that's gonna be awesome.
Yep.
Tutorials. We received a lot of feedback on our previous tutorial, and we have heard you. We are currently creating a list of role-specific tutorials and one going over the very basics of MOBA games as a whole. We have plans to upgrade our Learn tab with multiple features to help new players gain an edge before even stepping onto the battlefield.
So correct me if I'm wrong, what I get out of this is that they're not actively working on a playable tutorial. They're more focused on a learn tab with tutorial videos, similar to what they have, but just more role specific. Am I wrong to assume that?
So what was the question?
Jesus Christ. No, the whole tutorials thing, like, so they're focusing on a list of role specific tutorials, and then one going over the very basics of MOBAs. So that leads me to believe more like YouTube playlist that they're creating with like instructional videos and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't see anything about a playable.
Yep. The way what Ryan said in the dev stream, again, anybody who hasn't seen it, go back and watch it. I think it's on YouTube now, but you can also watch it on their VOD on Strange Matter Studios Twitch page. But what I also heard Ryan say is they're also going to try to get like just MOBA general information and put that available for people to get. You know, like it's not just fault. Hey, this is what fault is. You know, like last hitting is the same across all MOBAs, right? So, or majority of MOBAs, like what they're supposed to be. So here you go. Here's a last hitting. Here's what you're talking about. Here's what we mean by last hitting. Here's this information, you know, stuff like that. So that's going to be good too, to have for sure.
Arma said it's coming in the chat. I can't tell if he's talking about the tutorial or Winter. But
for himself.
Anyway,
fun
hardware bans.
Fun dip party.
Hardware ban tech. As a competitive game, we understand that there is toxicity in matches. We have worked hard to ensure we ban the ones who deserve to be removed from the game, and we will continue to do all that we can to make our game as comfortable as possible for all players. Outside of players reporting and chat muting that we have in game, we are also working towards hardware bans in order to fully remove accounts of players who warrant permanent bans.
I'm not mad at it, to be honest. Like, I know hardware bans were very controversial when games first started implementing, right? And I think the best argument I ever heard was like, hey, like if one person in that family fucks up, why does the whole family have to argue? Like that whole argument to it. But I will say, I think hardware bans are probably going to be more used specifically as to the cheating aspect of everything. That's what I think. Like, you might see a rare occasion where a hardware ban is used specifically towards like hardcore like toxicity that we're used to, because you got to think about it, like somebody cheating, that's making a toxic environment for everybody else playing. You get me?
Right.
So I think that that's what it's mainly going to direct to. But the fact that it's everybody, like normal toxicity, if you get to that level, and we all can at least think of one person throughout our entire history of fault that it's like, maybe. But I think we can all think of one person that at the end of the day would be like, hey man, if this person never came back to this game would actually benefit from it. So I can see scenarios like that.
Severity of it too, because I mean, if they would have had hardware bans at the beginning, we would be down a partner right now. You know what I mean? Like, people can change and improve.
That's a great point. That is a great point.
I don't know if his bans were enough to
warrant it. You're saying
that's what I'm saying.
Hardware
like,
ban.
Yeah.
I don't know if his stuff was enough to warrant that. I think other things that are happening for people who have been permanently banned, as is, they've done obviously worse things than Abusa, who we're talking about. You know, that's fine. So he's done a lot of shit, but you know, to the point to where now he's reformed, you know, in a sense, and he's doing a lot better in that regard too as well. But
we could even bring up Mech,
and he never actually got a permanent ban. Abusa didn't. You know, he got banned, and they just kept on banning his accounts, but that was a different situation. So that just kind of goes to show you that the other people did something worse than what Abusa was doing,
right? In
that regard.
So they're still going to keep looking at it severity wise.
Keep that open too, because Abusa has definitely come around, and he's a major proponent for fault and a huge positive influence for Fault and for gamers right now, despite his origins. But yeah, so like hardware banning somebody like that, I think is probably a mistake. But like if you are like caught cheating or something like that, if you're definitely like doing some kind of speed hack or some bullshit like that, hardware ban the fuck out of them.
Can you? So right now, with going free to play, Smurfs are going to be very accessible, right? So you can ban account, and then like, or you could do a temp ban or whatever on account, and they can just go load up with a Smurf now and be good to go. Is there a way to do a hardware ban but temporarily?
I have no idea.
Can you reverse a hardware ban? Because I think that would be a better way to stop the smurfing in that regard of if somebody's just being toxic because they want to be toxic and they're just going to keep smurfing to be toxic, you could do, here you go, here's a hardware ban, and it's for, you send them an email, hey, your hardware banned for 2 weeks or whatever it might be, whatever it is, 24 hours, here you go, calm down, come back, 24 hours and you can play again. And then they can take that hardware ban off. Is that something that would be, if that is, I think that could be something as well to help with the toxicity and the smurfing.
Yeah. And do you ban people for smurfing though?
I don't think you ban people for smurfing. I think I think smurfing, there's certain things that smurfing is okay, right? But if you're smurfing just because you are queue dodging, because you don't want to, you're dodging queues, or you're just AFKing, you're literally ruining the game in those situations because you just want to be AFK and you don't want to actually play with whoever you're playing with. And then so you can now you put another Smurf on because that one got banned for whatever, for AFK and being reported. And then you just create another account so you can go do the same thing and you just keep doing that and make the game bad. That's bad smurfing. Smurfing because, hey, I'm a master player, but I got new people that want to come in. I'm gonna smurf so I just play and chill with my friends. That smurfing is fine. There is smurfing that's okay. So you don't ban people for smurfing. You ban people. That's and Arma says. He says there is. Wait, hold on. Where did he say? I saw it somewhere. He said it is possible, but it has to be appealed. Yes, you can. If it is appealed, we can take the idea off the list. So yeah, so you can actually do a temp hardware ban. I think that would be the best way for them to go about it. If you have somebody that's being overly toxic, Abusa, right? If Abusa, the old Abusa was being the way he was, do a temp ban to his hardware, and then he appeals it. Hey, sorry, my bad. Here you go. And then they kind of come back on there, and they're on a probation. They're on like a little probation. All right. If we see reports because of whatever reason, here we go again. That you have to prove to us that you are not going to be the way you are.
Well, I mean, right now we're getting into an ethics discussion, and that we could follow this rabbit hole for fucking hours.
Yeah.
Let's move on to new hero mastery races. We will still be releasing new heroes, and we have one plan to launch after we have gone free to play. Balix leaked it. Mastery races will also be returned with our next hero, and we intend to keep them running for all future hero releases. We received a lot of feedback about our previous race and plan to make changes to the system before the next one begins. For Iggy and Scorch.
Right, because he's straight. Like, that was so funny, bro. He's like,
yeah, it was.
Like, for Iggy, and I was like, oh, got him.
I mean, we're gonna bring it back for Iggy.
Which I think at this point,
okay, buddy.
I think at this point I was more surprised that I didn't hear that he was coming on free to play. Right?
Yeah.
That they almost insinuated he would be after the fact.
Oh, that's what you can.
Yeah. And that, I mean, they're saying that here it's going to be after the fact. I don't Iggy's a hero that's going to bring a lot of people into the game. I think, like I said in my video, I think they're creating themselves a safety net. They've learned from their past mistakes. They know that a lot of times patches are fraught with optimization issues, and they want to make sure those optimization issues are taken care of before doing something major like dropping Iggy and Scorch.
But that's in that argument. That's what I was saying before in the past panels, was to do a patch early before free to play, make sure optimization's where we want it to be and we're good. So then the next patch, for the free to play, or hey, all we're patching is free to play. Here's the hero. Here's what the little changes to balances, and that's it. There's no balance. There's no optimization change at all. Like we're just all we're doing is adding this, and everything should go smooth in that way. I mean, obviously things can happen, but we're gonna drop a patch on free to play no matter what. So stuff can happen with that.
Yeah,
So this would have kind of give you that little bit of cushion, that little safety net. Like, all right, hey, we dropped this patch, but we still got something, and they would have to cram, in that time frame. All right, we got to fix whatever this issue is before the 18th, because that's the day we're going live, free to play, and we're gonna have new people here. We don't want to have this issue. What are we doing? Like right now, kudos to SMS. Shout out to SMS for pulling Richter as availability. He's no longer available right now because he has a game-breaking bug. So until they fix that, he's pulled from the roster. Great job on them for seeing that and taking care of it and jumping on it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so what would you be surprised if as soon as they go free to play, right, considering it's right around the corner, the movie's out, they then start marketing the fact that Iggy's around the corner? Try to draw that in. It's like, hey, you want to use it?
Going to the.
They weren't going.
Really gonna. They said they're gonna drop free to play. This is again with the partner the dev stream. They're gonna go free to play, and they're gonna give that time frame, whatever time frame we're gonna drop Iggy, just to kind of make sure the patch is going, everything's going smooth. We're because when we went early access, right? When we first dropped early access, and Steam fucked up the page and said, hey, you could buy this and you get everything or whatever, but that's not exactly how it worked. You actually had to buy other things, so they had to fix all that. Well, we're gonna have to do the same thing with Epic Game Store, right? Yes, it's free to play, but there's things that need to go along with that. We got to make sure that Epic, purchasing or downloading the game at Epic Game Store is going smoothly. We got to make sure that this is going smoothly. We got to make sure the interaction between Epic Games and Steam is going smoothly. There's stuff that we got to figure out during this free to play that has to happen. So once all of that, we all right, all boxes are checked. All right, now we can introduce Iggy, we can introduce marketing, we can do all of this, and we can push forward and do a strong marketing push once we drop Iggy, and we can go bam, big, here we go.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, personally, I kind of would have preferred.
It off. Keep it up.
Yes,
I love it.
Appreciate everybody being here. By the way, I'm trying to engage with chat while simultaneously being here in the conversation. But I would have preferred 100% what you said as far as getting it in there earlier. But like a couple of people are in chat are saying, like, I'm also not opposed to the fact that they're like, hey man, if there's any chance that anything might go wrong, let's just push that a little bit further down the road and let's emphasize on making sure it's smooth. I'm not against it. I'm disappointed. I had expectations, but I'm not against it. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, but that's the thing is I'm actually, with what I was saying, I think is more in line of what we as the current community, right? Because there's no free to play players in here yet, right? If we would have done all of this, we've already been here. We've already been through the ups and downs and the tribulations. We've already done all of it. So if we were to go through another patch that's going to set us back before free to play, it would have been better than to do that on another early access release, like what Mangoose referenced. We're trying to avoid that same fiasco that we went through. We would have already taken care of that issue or found out there was issues, and we've been able to make that free to play release smoother with the route that I was hoping for. Here, what they're doing, they're still making it better for the free to play release by not putting so much on the plate and just throwing everything at it. Let's go. It's still better in this regards, but I think my way was even better, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, I'm not behind the scenes. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening.
So Armadillo just confirmed that Iggy is ready, but they're waiting to add him purposefully.
So is it going to have the old Ultimate or the new Ultimate?
Right, give us some deets. Give us something. I mean,
the movie kind of hinted at something, but I don't want to spoil it for you guys. But
oof.
But the movie hinted at something, but that movie was also on 13, I think it was, on patch 13. So that was forever ago. We're going to be on 17. So that was 4 big patches ago. Everything could have changed from that.
In the movie, the core you could one shot, and you could also, Kalari could just fucking take Greystone out with one hit too. So.
That was Kalari. That was true.
Touche. Good one. I'll give you that one. I was about to say, don't even bring up the Kalari Chimera thing that I saw. But again, creative liberties, movie, etc. Yeah, it just makes me more curious as to why they would hold out. So I'm theorizing here. You know what that makes me feel like when I hear them say, hey, he is ready, confirmed, we're just choosing not to? That makes no. That makes me feel like that season 1 might be around the corner, personally.
So you say that, right? Go back and watch the dev stream again. Balak says, and I clipped it and I sent it to us in the partner pit. If you want to show it or not, that's fine, no big deal. Balak's encompasses everything that they've talked about. Their goal is to come soon, by the end of the year, but still TBD. Like, that's their goal for a lot of this, is what I heard him say. So again, he also left it open. Like, we're not setting
by the end of the year, TBD.
But it's still too, like, everything's could change. Like,
how's your burger?
Like,
it's medium well, kind of well, but still raw. Like, what?
Soon could be from here till 2027, right? It's relative, right? TBT is obviously to be determined. We don't know. We don't have a date for it, but he did put a date in there in that statement.
Fair enough. There is a time limit that they're aiming for, like a goal at least. I'll give you that. I think you'll be eating a crayon. You did not do that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Shout out to the homie Sockcap in the chat. And we kind of touched on because console is next, right? We kind of touched on that throughout the earlier questions. Do we need to go into console? Do you guys think? Like, as far as what it says on here?
Before we go on the victory race, all right, the hero race is what it says. Did I say victory race? Mastery race. Mastery race. So the mastery race. So what are your guys' thoughts on everybody being that? Well, potentially everybody being included in that.
Well, it's a timed thing, so not everybody. But I'm
potentially.
I'm okay with having
made it in that time. Everybody's included.
I mean, okay, sure. I'm okay with like the first place person getting a better prize, and then everybody else getting thanks for racing ribbons, Like,
right. I mean, it's a tiered system because you're gonna get everybody. The first place prize is gonna get the one thing. Then I think they said like there's gonna be like the next 3 or whatever gonna get a little something more. But then everybody else that makes it in this time frame is still gonna get something. So you didn't literally just go in there, try your hardest, sit there and just no life fault, and then come to find out, all right, well, I didn't win because this person no lifed it more than me, and I literally just wasted how much time of my life to do this, right? At least now you're getting something for it as long as you make it in that time frame.
Interesting. And I see people in chat saying stop giving mastery points on AI games. And I find that very interesting. I'm not necessarily against that. Like, being like, I used to do original mastery races. The best I ever got was like second place in one. But not including AI matches would actually probably promote somebody to actually get some sleep, low-key. Because AI matches, even when you're not queuing properly, like, you're still grinding. Like, bro, like, I did at one point like a good 28 hours straight, and I want to say at least 12 of those hours were AI matches, so I couldn't 100% see why people are against it. But I mean, I guess the argument could be made a match is a match. and AI matches does give less points, like Marco said in the chat. So I feel like that's one we could debate all day. What do you guys think on that?
I'm okay with actually getting rid of it. Personally, I mean, I'm okay either way. Like if you have it, you have it. It's in the rules. Everybody has the ability to do it. So, it's not like they're cheating. I just see that it's not as legitimate in a sense. It's like you're literally just, you're cheesing your way there, right? It's there. It's in the rules. You found a loophole. Good for you. But, playing an actual match, if you get stuck in a match for 40 minutes, like that match is only going to give you so much XP, right? But if you play AI match, you can end that whenever you want to end it and go to the next one, right? So like, I think just like making it a legitimate race, using only actual matches where you have to queue, right? And you're also and that's another thing you're fighting is the queue timer. That's also going into that event, that effect. I think that would make it a little more challenging to figure out who's going to actually get number one.
But I know it'd be counterintuitive, but I feel like you would get a Smurf account going for master because it would be easier to do. And then, which again, it defeats the purpose of having it on one account. But like we saw Feng Mao waiting room went for the Feng Mao mastery. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you're just going to encourage that even more if it's PvP only and good players are trying to do it. Because they don't want the long queue times.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, we could literally sit here argue all day about it. I don't know. I'm torn on it. I'll be honest. I guess we're in a weird spot because we're probably not even going to participate in any of these mastery races, like hardcore like that, trying to come first place. Any of us. Maybe Goose. I'll be
at my main. So you're wrong.
I'll be on my main. I only have one too, but yeah. I feel like Goose out of all of us would be the only one that could attempt it, and I doubt he will. Am I wrong there, Goose?
No, I'm not going to be fucking participating in a mastery race.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Iggy and Scorch is a cool character, but he's not like one of mine. You know what I mean? Of course, Morgash was never one of mine either. Now, like, I fucking love her.
Now you got T-Og and bullshit everywhere, right?
Oh God! Oh, T-Og Iggy. T-Og
get me out
with old Ultimate.
Oh. Get me out. Oh, so you are releasing. So you are kind of throwing out there what was hinted in. No. All right. So, and then they just pretty much ended with a thank you. I mean, we don't really have to sum up into that, but we are a little bit deeper into the time frame than we usually go. So I think this is a good spot to end it in. I just want to say real quick, thank you everybody that has been watching. Again, leave a comment below, just a straight up GG. If you made it this far, you guys are awesome. If you know who you are, drop it in there. We really do appreciate it. And don't forget, guys, these videos do go live on Bearded Wolverine's channel every single Friday, 8:30 p.m. And then they do get posted on YouTube the following Wednesday at noon. As well as that, these podcasts are available in audio format as far as Google, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. But we're going to end it with our little words of wisdom / what you got going on, things that people can follow, starting with Goose. Hit us with it, bro.
I've been playing a lot of beta games, like I keep saying, and I have a series called Beta Mails where we review all these beta games. I forgot to post it today, but I'll probably post it tomorrow. And we played Hypercharge, which actually isn't a beta game, but it was a fun little game to play. So because if you ever watched that and you want to see, if ever played Hypercharge and you want to see a review on it, it'll be on my channel tomorrow.
I see. Bearded, what you got going on?
Well, I'm actually, after we drop off here, we raid somebody, I'm going to start stream back up, and I'm going to get some games in from Fault, because I feel like I need to start grinding TB some more, because I finally finished my Sparrow Mastery. So I have Grim mastered, I have Murdock mastered, and I have Sparrow mastered. So now I just got to get TB mastered, and then I'll be sitting there twiddling my thumbs until Fault Defiance finally decides to drop an ADC again. So considering like what that was, the first hero dropped was an ADC, and then now we haven't had anything since. Come on, SMS, get with it. So But yeah, so I'll be doing that. Just game with that. Other than that, Monday's my normal stream time, and Monday they're dropping a patch for free to play. So let's go play with some new players and help them along the way.
Lit. And I'll actually tell you, I tried my hardest to get Monday like off work, and my boss said, "Yeah, no, can't do it." So I hit him with this. I was like, "Hey, how do you feel though? Instead of me requesting that Monday off, can I just leave 2 hours early the rest of the week though?" So I don't know how that's gonna go, but no. As far as on my side, I'll be real with you guys. I'm always working on random projects, quite frankly. Everything from podcasts that are not gaming related, anything from car content. I literally got like 3 or 4 different YouTube channels that I've been slowly working on and trying to improve. You guys can find those links down below. I'll make sure that all of our links are included for everything. But yeah, I'll be real with you. As soon as this goes free to play, you're definitely gonna see me cop that Gideon skin first of all, which I think partners get it, but I don't know, right? Maybe it's we still gotta log in.
So,
but and then you're definitely gonna see me try and get some community games in there. I mean, who knows? Might try and help Beard it out and get custom games going. We'll see how that goes. That might be spicy if we throw down on Tuesday and just get all the partners together and do custom games. You imagine partners versus community? That would be lit. We could probably arrange that in there.
Our ass is kicked.
Speak for yourself.
I am.
I don't know, Mangoose. I think it'd be a fun dip party.
Oh no.
I win those all the time.
All right, homies, we appreciate all of you. Jesus Christ, no. I appreciate all of you tuning in. Thank you so much to our special guests that did come through, Alex and Ryan. Thank you so much. And
yes,
we'll catch you on the next one. This episode was spicy, I think.
Peace. It was good spice. Good one.
Peace. He's a good spice, Lamau.
Good spice.
You know bad spice?